to 25, gusts up to 35 in the afternoon, and a high of 25. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low down to 10. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 26. Starting the week Monday, mostly sunny but breezy, and a high of 24 on Monday. And then Tuesday, mostly sunny, and a high of 28. Right now in downtown Regina, clear sky and 18 degrees.
B&A Petroleum is a Southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Here we go. We made it to Friday, end of the week, the Sports Cage. Whatever you're doing out there, if you are getting that crop off, harvesting, few more nice days ahead. Thanks for tuning in, whether it is on 620 CKRM, through the radio, or if you're watching through our YouTube channel, through sportscage.com, or on Twitter, and also all the audio streams. 3 hours for you. New opinions coming up today on the CFL rule changes. New opinions from Wes Cates, Mark McConkey, head coach of the UofR Rams, Farhan Lalji, who works for the big bad TSN, and Rob Vanstone. Oh, and Greg from Piffles is going to be with as well. There he is. Maddox Schultz, we're going to talk to him as the Regina Pats have their home opener today. Big pregame concert with the band Bleecker. For all you kids out there and rocksters, they got to have actually a Regina Pats song. Dante's going to talk about that, but Maddox Schultz is coming up in hour 2. We are going to have 4 tickets to give away to the Regina Pats home opener tonight. That's just in the first hour. So you got to get on it right now. Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. What do we want to ask, Colson? You got to let us. You got to tell us your favorite Regina Pat of all time. Maybe the funniest answer will win them. That's up to Colson. 4 tickets, so coming your way only in the first hour, because I know you got to get plans to get there. You probably want to go to the tailgate and the pre-party, so that's coming up here for the next, I guess, now 53 minutes. Rider audio today from Coach Mace. We're going to hear from him. And a very interesting Ali Saad interview on his unique life and football career with Dave Thomas in hour 3. Greg from the Piffles podcast is here. You're fresh off the road. Before we get going any further, speaking of Prairie Land Rentals text line, you were just in Raymore, Saskatchewan, literally like 2 hours ago. You sent me a picture.
Yeah.
You think you tweeted it too, didn't you?
No, I didn't tweet the picture of the Raymore sign. I sent you the Raymore sign, home of the Rockets. Thought you'd enjoyed that one. No, I tweeted out a picture of a random goalpost.
Does anyone know
Football goalpost.
why there is a random football goalpost in Raymore, Saskatchewan? 936-6262. Now, is this goalpost part of a field? Is it just in the middle of the town? I've been to Raymore, but after a few six-packs.
Yeah, you come off. You go past the sign, actually, when you're heading down Main Street, and there's just a random football goalpost between the road and the train tracks. And I don't know, did some dad set it up and go, son, you're going to be the next Brett Lothar? I don't know.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Maybe
there you go. So, it's up on the feed.
Why is there a random goalpost in Raymore, Saskatchewan? If you're watching the stream, there's a picture of it.
obviously someone takes care of it. Like the grass is mowed, but there's like no plaque as far as I could tell, no sign, no.
We got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get to the bottom of that as we move along here. All right. Some would say, enough already. Quit beating a dead horse. All that. But these CFL rule change conversations ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Very curious to get your take on it. You said you haven't really tuned into the show this week. We didn't tune into Piffle, so worlds are going to collide here.
Ooh.
Monday, you find out about the rule changes.
Well, actually, Sunday when they made the announcement that the rule changes were coming, I went full-blown Charlie from It's Sunny in Philadelphia. I had my string out trying to figure out what was going to happen here. Like, I was in full-blown conspiracy mode, especially after some people were saying that there was get ready for the Americanization of the CFL. So, of course, I started panicking.
And
I'm
just start selling all your rider gear, all your stock.
No, I'm not that. I'm not that crazy. I'm a football fan, and that's what I talk about. There's NFL fans and there's football fans and there's CFL fans.
Okay, so on that, so Sunday Americanization of the CFL. You're thinking probably worst case scenario in your brain?
I didn't think 4 downs was on the plate yet.
Did you?
I honestly didn't. Because that would be I'll say a bridge too far. I'm not saying it's not down the line.
What's our price tag on 4-down football? That's a question no one's really asking. What's the owners, the league, what is the price tag, I wonder, to move to 4-down football?
A probably big...
100 million? 100 million?
Big number TV deal down in the States, probably. Yeah, that's the only way, because I don't think they're going to be able to sell 3-down football. Don't get me wrong, they enjoy the wacky Canadian rules. I've seen a few American fans that are, like the Sickos podcast, are big football fans. They have a huge following. They love the Rouge. And now they're a little upset that there's not going to be as many Rouges as there was.
They love the Rouge because it's a cool Canadian thing.
Oh, it's quirky.
It's like Smarties. It's like, wow, hey,
ketchup chips.
Shane, can you bring me down some ketchup? Bring some of those I remember when I lived down there, and I brought down ketchup chips for the first time and Smarties, and then my parents brought down some Molson beer. Although my mom, beautiful lady, she bought the Molson that was like the 7% that no one really drank.
Ice Molson ice. Yes.
So then they're really thinking that our beer is something.
Yeah.
And I don't have the heart to tell. No, she did bring a case of Pilsner too, because it was just so Sasky, right? And I'm like, oh, look for the rabbit on the bottle and all this. But the ketchup chips thing, and they were like, that is so gross. And then they tried it. And then the next time they're like, hey, Shank, bring some of those ketchup chips back.
Exactly.
No, they do think, I don't know though. The guys that I talk to, they're like, your goalpost at the front of the end zone is so weird, man.
And don't get me wrong, I remember back when I was going to UofR, Jason Claremont ran full speed into the goalpost on a crossing route. He got picked right into it, and he was definitely seeing stars, but back then you didn't ask for concussions protocol on that one.
Smelling salts. Let's go.
Exactly. But if they wanted to sell that as a safety issue, sure. I have trouble believing that it's going to raise scoring that much. But then again, over that many games, 60 touchdowns is less than a touchdown a game. So sure, maybe scoring goes up. Scoring's up this year already. So I don't know if you can tell me that it's going to cause that much of a scoring increase just by moving the goalpost.
We're going to see. We are definitely going to see. I'm really curious later. Wes Cates is standing by Farhan, Lalji to get some of these guys. Farhan has coached a lot, both sides of the border. Wes has obviously played. So we got so much to get to and talk to. Edmonton tomorrow.
Yep.
Every game is Desperationville for Edmonton, starting with tomorrow. Coach Mace, he was asked about the status, and now it's confirmed. Sam Emelis and Kean Schaefer-Baker.
They both had a full week of practice, man. They look pretty good. So, like always, we'll look at everything and see what we put out there. But it's really nice to see them both out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, we talked on our podcast for a while now. What are you going to do when all these receivers come back? They got so many talented receivers. And the fact that Sean Bain's back on the roster, KSB's coming back, Emilus, that's the huge. Emilus is huge.
Yeah. On the defensive side of the ball, Coach Mace describes how they're going to stop Justin Rankin.
Yeah, I think it's not a secret anymore how good of a player he is. I think a lot of people identified that last year, honestly, and you're not really surprised at the year he's having. He's a strong runner, patient runner. He's got good speed, catch out the backfield. He can block. He's a hell of a player, man. They got a good one, so we got to be on it. You know what I mean? Whether it's just understanding where he's at in the passing game, obviously understanding they do a good job running the ball, and it could look like a 2-yard run and can turn into 109. He's got that kind of skill set. So we got to be all eyes in the run game for sure. But then obviously you can't fall asleep when they take to the air with Cody.
Rankin out of the catching the ball has been very effective.
Rankin has been a permanent status on my CFL fantasy this year. He has not come off. Unfortunately, he's a full $15,000 every week, but he has not come off because he's been that good. He runs angry, and that's what you want a guy like that to do.
Part of the Rankin family, of course. We still got more to come to on that. We're going to talk a lot about the game coming up, more audio from that. But Wes Cates is going to join us in studio. We're going to get his take on a number of different topics. It's coming up. We're streaming at sportscage.com. We're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at saskagtoday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
I still just don't understand it. It's like buying a jigsaw puzzle and only getting half the pieces. I'm Wood Country Woody, and I like things done right. That's why my garage package came from Wood Country. A Wood Country garage package contains everything you need right from the start, including appearance-grade lumber, all your nails and screws, and walk-in doors with cladded jambs. It's one and done right with Wood Country.
Your home is your castle.
In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale, wood-country.com.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
You say,
Come on, yeah.
And your cows say,
moo?
So you tell them,
Your water is literally right over there.
And then they say,
Like, moo again.
Your cows are divas, and you can't make them move to the water, so move the water to the cows with the Keln Solar Livestock Watering System. Off-grid, low hassle, cow approved.
Very moo.
Visit kelnsolar.com.
Back to Sportscage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. It is for Nelson Homes on Friday, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Regina Pats home opener tonight, 936-6262. We got 4 tickets. Colson has 4 tickets in his hands that he's going to award before the top of the hour. If you want to go check out the home opener, maybe go see Bleecker play the new song. You get to see Maddox, Schultz, and Liam Pugh in the lineup as well. Let's keep the football thing going. Greg from the Piffles podcast is in co-hosting today, and joining us, part of the Rider broadcast team, Wes Cates, in studio, walked over. Thanks very much, Wes. He's wearing his Indigenous theme Rider shirt. Nice. I was supposed to wear an orange shirt today, too. I know. I was like,
come on, man. Get with the program.
I don't have
Come on, bro.
That's the problem. And I think the only one I have is the Texas one that I just wore down there at the game, and it was 30 degrees. Too sweaty. Okay, you wake up, do you have any inkling of what's coming down on Sunday? When there's big announcements coming Monday. Sunday, do you start texting guys? Do you say, hey, wait, give me the 411 here?
Nah, I just kind of wait for announcement. I don't know. It's like until it's actually a thing, I don't try to get my hopes up either way about anything. That's just me. I don't know. I'm like, tell me when it happens, then I'll decide if I'm excited or not.
Hey, I'd like to be your investor. So then it comes down on Monday. Does it blow you away? Are you surprised?
I was a little surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, what? That's stupid. And then I thought about it and was like, actually, nah, those might work out all right. The more I think about it, a little nuance, a little change here and there. Nothing too. I don't think anything was too drastic, except maybe moving the goalpost to the back of the end zone.
We'll get to that in a bit. Your boy Luke. Yeah. Very passionate, unbelievable clip. Do you want to play one of the quick clips, Colson? Sorry to put you on the spot here, but he's sweating on Wednesday with Maz, making some, I think, very, very poignant, valid points. Yeah. Colson, here's one of them right here.
And for all the people who are saying, "Oh, well, this is a Canadian," I haven't seen anybody offering examples any other ways we can bring in gate revenue. I haven't seen all of these pundits that are so good, and you're right, that are talking on social media. Not one of them has suggested, "Hey, instead of this, we should do this." Right? It's so easy to challenge change when you're not part of it.
Okay. With that said, we're having a chuckle here listening to our boy. Gotta love it. He's golfing right now in Edmonton, apparently.
Tiger Shanks.
But do you honestly think, and not staying status quo, where the league is, do you think that is a play? Like, or are people like, we need to change some things up here?
No, I mean, I think, you talk to people and they're always like, we need to do something different to gain, to get some momentum, to get more viewers, or maybe tap into the U.S. markets, or maybe get more Canadians excited about it. And then all of a sudden, you get a commissioner who's like, hey, I got a few changes we can try. You know what I mean? It's not like they have to stay, They could always go back. That is an option, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if once implemented, people act like, we can't say, that was a mistake. Maybe we should just move them back, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think change is hard, but change is always good. That's a motto I live by. It's like, hey, things are going to change, so you got to kind of learn to roll with them and learn to find a way to use them to your advantage,
Obviously, a lot of the fans are freaking right out now because of the field size. They're thinking that 55-yard line, it was sank or sank. Like, now we're... Some people are calling it NFL light. I wouldn't go that far, but...
Yeah. But I would say, how many people even really realized that there was a 55-yard line or a center field? Like, I guarantee you, if you would have done a survey of, like, what's the middle of the field in the CFL game, people would have been like the 50.
Especially anyone under the age of 17.
Yeah. Like, people, like, honestly... You don't think about it. The length of the field really doesn't make a difference unless you're like going for records of like, longest catch or longest pass or longest run. Now, there's going to, I don't even know. I'm sure there's some guys out there with 100+ yard plays. So you can't get
Jeff Fairholm's 107 yard rider record will stay after 2027.
And
there's
and returns.
A couple records are now locked in. That's the worst about the 50.
Every other pro league though, records have changed. NBA when they brought in the 3-point line. Yeah. NHL when they changed how many games, 2-line passes. how the game is officiated is a whole separate ball game.
Yeah.
Baseball, same thing. NFL has had changes too to their kickoffs, to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the goalposts.
Right.
Your boy Darian was like, it was kind of, I had to lob it over. You had to, it was almost like trick shots, like you're going to the exhibition and walking the midway. It's like, is that a good thing though? Like if you eliminate those goalposts, Wes Cates is playing football.
Yeah.
Doesn't it open up a whole bunch more plays, or what's your take?
It does a little bit. I think that the only people that are really worried about it as much are the quarterbacks, and then maybe a receiver or two that has to go across the middle, or a linebacker that, is like, dang, which side of this do I stand on for the short yardage play? But other than that, I really don't think it came into effect a ton. Obviously with it removed, I think, now it might open up a whole can of worms, because now you can run a lot more. Before probably guys were running routes to maybe rub their defender off the goalpost.
Did you ever do that, or did you guys ever have a call to maybe use it as a pick?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we really scripted it up a bunch, like, hey, remember to use that goalpost. But at the end of the day, like, crafty players are going to use it when they can, right? So I would say, that's kind of eliminating a bit of that. But, you can put rub routes in plays to kind of get the pick that you want anyway. So I think it just opens up that part of the field to just be a little more creative. But I don't think it really, honestly, I was never like, oh, man, I could run this play better if the goalpost wasn't right there. You know what I mean? But I can't say that, because I know quarterbacks, it probably gave them a little anxiety. And obviously it's come into play. Like, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? I can't remember what game it was, but it negated a pick because it skipped off the goalpost, right?
There was probably a time when we were playing men's touch league against each other, and you and Fraser and Dominguez were on the other side, and I told my guys, hey, run near the goalpost. Just pick one of those guys out of the picture.
And then also moving the goalpost behind now changes the field goal situation. That's another reason why they had to shorten the fields, according to the CFL.
Yeah.
So, but you saw the reaction of a guy like Sean White going,
no more
field
goal returns?
Yeah. No more
missed field goals returned.
Or he's not needed.
Yeah. He's not needed. He was,
But, that was a kind of, I would say the easiest return play was the missed field goal play. So to take that out, probably, like, there's a lot of old linemen out there saying, thank you, Jesus, right now. Like, because they don't have to run down and chase some dude running a 4.2 when they run like a 5.2 at best, right? So, but I do think there'll still be some long field goals attempted where you might put a returner back there. And then you got to think about the fact that the rules are still in place, so that now maybe we're watching teams try to pooch punt it into the end zone to make a 4-point game a 3-point game, or to make a 1-point game a tie. And now you got a returner back there trying to decide, do I catch it, try to get it out, or, So there's going to be strategy that putting it in the back of the end zone adds to the game.
I'm still waiting for someone to confirm, and Glenn said he was trying to look into it, if you can punt it. Remember, because if you can still punt it out of the end zone.
You can drop kick it for sure.
Oh yeah,
no one's sure if that is going to be
for
a rule.
Single.
No, let's say they punt it into the end zone.
The punt out,
or a short field goal now from something really long, and you don't want to run it out. Just let it fly back the other way.
I've been in plays like that before.
When you're coming, and this is a long time ago, when you're first getting accustomed to the Canadian game, and you're coming up here, and you find out about this whole point for a missed field goal. Are you like really scratching your head and saying, what am I getting into here?
Nah, you definitely do. And then you're always like, oh, because that's a big part of the game, and it's inevitable that you kind of in the heat of the moment are going to not think about it and mess up, especially if you're put into that situation in your first few games in the CFL. Like, I remember I thought I was going to get cut because of this. So I was a rookie in Calgary, and I'm on just field goal, you know what I mean? It was just after a score. And so I'm sitting there, I run out on the field, I'm lined up, and then I've just always been a guy that counts people. So I'm like counting people. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12. Too many guys on the field. I run off the field, and then I'm sitting up there like, I just made a smart play. And freaking Tom Higgins is the head coach. He's looking at me like, you dumb mother. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking like, oh, dang, that's right, 12. It's a 12-man game. So, you know what I mean? It happens.
That's an all-timer. Can we clip that right now? That's an all-timer.
But thankfully, I made enough plays that they were like, yeah, we need to keep this guy around.
But you're right, though. Those little intricacies of the Canadian game definitely mess up the new guys. Last year, Edmonton in town, that misplayed the kick in the end zone, and the Riders won by a rouge.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, and I think that's kind of what makes the CFL game a little more exciting, more interesting, is that there are a few more nuances that, it makes it's kind of more of a thinking man's game that way. You know, you got to be able to play more in space up here, hence the wider field. And then, I just feel like in the NFL and college, American college football, you know, the field is like kind of, it's at that almost as small as it can get. And so if you run the angles fast, you kind of know you're going to make the play. Whereas in the CFL, you might run yourself out of the play because you think a guy doesn't have, you know, he's got 5, 6, 7 more yards to kind of get the corner on you. You're like, uh-oh, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I think the CFL game is going to do just all right. Or do fine with these rule changes.
What do you say to people, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of people calling in tomorrow, post-game. You'll be answering this pre-game as well. What do you say to people that have the paranoia of American? This is just the start of us, you know, becoming an NFL, reasonably drawn facsimile.
I mean, would it be so bad if it really just if more Americans came up here and participated in the economy, got excited about the game, and it helped kind of bridge that gap? Would it be so bad? You know what I mean?
Is there? I don't find, and Greg and I might debate this a bit, but really, 60 minutes. We talked about this a lot this week. 60 minutes, then the 100-yard length of the field.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? And the goalpost at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only things that are similar.
Yeah, that are like copying off of the NFL game. Yeah. No, I don't think it's I think that makes sense. I mean, I think it, and you can start to talk about the safety aspect of it. You know, I don't know how many guys have gotten hurt off of hitting the goalpost, but I'm sure it's happened. You know what I mean? So we're always trying to get safer. So why not?
My major concern was when they kind of hinted that they were going to change the game clock. I like the immediate start.
Yeah.
35 seconds is still shorter than an NFL clock, but do you think that's going to disrupt the flow of the game? Or
I feel like, because I used to think about, I'm like, when I first got up here, I was like, 20 seconds, that's not enough. But then I realized that it's like, no, they take time to set the ball. Yeah. So it really actually ends up being about 30, 35 seconds anyway. So the fact that they're just saying, no, the clock is starting now, is just kind of put a little more pressure on coordinators to be like, nah, there's no play now. Like, just get your calls in and just understand there's no, oh no, you guys said it too early and all. You know, it's eliminating some of the things that slowed the game down, right?
I would think that they would have ran the data on what they have and went, look at this. Here is what it is, so we can move to this. I would think. I don't know for sure. Do you have any more on the rule changes that you want to ask him?
I'm just curious. Wes Cates was commissioner. What change he would have made?
What changes I'd have made if commish, man? You know,
you can say anything. This is a safe place, Wes. Right. This isn't like the Rider broadcast. This is a safe place. This is Sportscage.
Right. I mean, I hadn't really thought too much about, you know, how the rules could change, but I do kind of like the play clock kind of being set, you know, as opposed to like, oh, this time it was 25 seconds because the guy got tackled close to or inside the hashes, but now this time it's like 40 seconds because I don't know, because, you know, the dude spiked the ball after a pass, you know what I mean, and now refs are tossing it to each other and trying to, it just kind of gets it more consistent, and then maybe, and I'm sure probably advertisers and all the folks that are worried about the timing, you know what I mean, and ending on time and that sort of stuff, commercial breaks are probably like, this is great.
Yeah. Let's move on to the game tomorrow now. Edmonton, desperation. time. Desperate football team over there.
Yeah.
Tavon Campbell still out. Marcus Sales back in. Benny Sapp. Need you to step up. When you break down this game and what the Riders are going into Edmonton, how do you see it?
I see it like this. We just need to stop playing around on offense and just put points on the board early, because Cody Fajardo is always going to be Cody Fajardo. He's going to mess around for 3 quarters, but if you give him
stick around
the ball, you know what I mean, with a score less late in the game, all of a sudden he just turns into like a quarterback. So I'm just like, don't play around and keep Cody close, because he'll bite you.
What are you seeing? Why it's the slow starts for the Riders? Are you seeing anything there?
I've been saying this all season, and I'm not trying to, clearly they have a great offense, and Trevor Harris is a good quarterback, and I think that might be why Mark Mueller's a little hesitant to try to get fancy, because he's like, well, my quarterback, if guys run their routes right and keep their spacing right, he's going to put it on them. But I just feel like when you get creative and, try to mix in some new plays, some weird plays, you don't want to get too cute with it. But when you can get those big plays and steal yards, or maybe, get those big plays, like something that the opposing team hasn't done, it kind of sparks work during the week, because guys are excited about throwing a couple wrinkles in. And it just makes it easier in the game when you can just steal a chunk play and get like a 30, 40, 50-yard play and kind of flip the field, and it just gets your offense going. And I haven't seen much of that from the Riders, and I kind of been waiting for it. They have athletes that can do a lot of different things, but they seem to just line up and just run typical plays. And sometimes teams are ready for that, and it's kind of like you have to wear down the defense before you can actually move the ball, as opposed to stealing some plays early, because you're not taking advantage of that. I don't know, that nervous excitement and guys jumping stuff early. It's like, nope, we're going to run our curl with the posts over top, and you know what I mean? We're going to run our double outs, and we're going to run our, you know what I mean? It's
we're going to run our pick play with the goalposts.
Yeah. It's like, nah, throw some wrinkles in there. Try to throw some shot plays in there. That was one thing. Like Ken Austin, when he was the head coach, he used to come in and like once or twice a week, man, he'd be like, this DB, he loves jumping the posts. So we're going to run we're going to run a post corner on him and see if it worked. And most of the time this stuff worked, and we'd get like a big play, at a critical time of the game. So I don't know. I would just encourage Mark Mueller to be just a little more creative, throw some wrinkles in there. I don't want to see a bunch of, a double reverse or
bounce pass.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to see nothing where you're just like, why'd you run that then and lose 10 yards? Yeah. But you do kind of want to see, maybe, run a play and just have a guy just break his route off and go again. You run a flood play, but then all of a sudden, the guy that usually runs the over just breaks it off to a backside corner. And now he's out there with nobody covering him, and you just get like a 60-yard touchdown because you threw a wrinkle in there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's definitely going to help the Riders with Emelis and Sean Bain Jr. back. You talked about nervous energy. Bain Jr. hasn't played all year. Do you think he's going to be – I don't know. What's going through his mind, I guess?
I think he's like, man, these young dudes are out here balling. I better come correct. I need to be ready to go. But he's a vet, and he was like a go-to guy. So I don't think it's going to be. I think he's going to be excited. I'm sure maybe there'll be a little hesitation because I don't know how much he's really pushed his body. As far as coming back from his injury, but he's had time. My question is, why didn't y'all ever put him on 6 game? But that's neither here nor there, or is it?
It is a weird one.
It's a very good question.
They could have done it twice.
We'll find that out in 5 years.
Could have saved some good money, right? I don't know what his contract is, but I'm guessing they could at least save 50, 60 grand.
How many texts I've gotten on that and over the last few months? It's like, I don't know. Hey, thanks for making time and coming in. Fun and telling an all-time story that we're going to clip up and it's going to be out there on social media. That is,
that was probably the worst and only bad play I ever had. No,
Wes Cates, you can hear him tomorrow starting at 2:00 here on the Rider Radio Network. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com. We're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
The Ritchie Brothers fall farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Don't miss a minute of Sportscage. Podcasts are posted at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Friday for Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Greg from the Piffles Podcast is with me. Colson's taking your texts and calls on the other side in the pocket, and we're giving away Regina Pats tickets to the home opener tonight. Colson has them. They're right there. 936-6262 only until the top of the hour, so you can make plans, put on your evening wear, and head to the Pats game tonight. Bleecker, I think, at 5:45. The band starting, and they're playing this new song that they wrote
for the Pats.
Yeah, it's going to be like their entrance tune, I think. Dante will tell us more a bit. So yeah, if you want those tickets, you got to let us know who your favorite Regina Pat is of all time. Do you have one?
Mike Sillinger.
Oh, silly. Did he pay you to say that?
One of my first autographs, actually. Mooseman Connection, so I got his autograph.
Did you have to pay for that autograph?
I did not have to pay, no.
Silly's a grinder. Yeah, he had a heck of a career as well. Okay, tomorrow, coming up at Mosaic Stadium, it's the Regina UofR Rams against Manitoba. Should be a good one. Joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline Friday. No one likes to cook. Is head coach of those Rams, Mark McConkey. Are you going to swear at me if I ask you about CFL rule changes and your take on Monday and throughout the week here, Mark?
No, not at all. Again, I probably have a different opinion than most coaches, I think. But, yeah, no, not at all.
What do you think? Do you foresee down the road university adapting to the changes, or do you see them saying, no, we'll stay status quo and roll with it this way?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And again, U Sports is its own beast, right? So everyone's like, oh, like, are you going to do it? It's like, well, it's not up to me. Like, what is the UofR Rams coach is going to pick the rules? Like,
if it was, would you?
Well, I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm protected by U Sports. At the end of the day, yeah, like the CFL, they got to do what's best for their league, right? So everyone's like, oh, you got to be super mad. I'm like, no, like at the end of the day, they're a professional sporting league, and they need to do what they need to do to increase popularity, butts in seats, TV viewership. So I'm not mad about it. Actually, some of the rule changes I like the play clock. Some of those things are pretty cool. The one that probably gives us the biggest headache is the actual physical dimensions changing, right? The goalposts. And again, selfishly, how does that affect U Sports, right? So what's U Sports going to do? And again, there's probably 4 teams that play in professional stadiums, us being one of them, and then maybe Ottawa in the Panda game, Carleton when they play out there. So what is that going to look like? But at the end of the day, U Sports is going to do their research, and everything comes down to money. That's just what it is in U Sports. And so are they really going to have 23 universities change their field and make them get a new field in the next 2-3 years? Like, I don't think so. So I think we're going to stay status quo. If I had to pick, I think that's what the U Sports will choose to do, at least for the short time being.
Unless the CFL comes with a big bag of money and says, we'll start, replacing fields, which I don't think they have that big bag of money, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Craig.
I'm in for that. Yeah.
Well, you saw it. Like the U Sports came out fast, CJFL came out fast, Football Canada came out fast. Where do you think, I guess, if they go, screw it, we're all just going to go to the CFL rules now, what do you think that is? Because you came up growing up, so what do you think that's going to change in the grassroots programs?
Yeah, honestly, if they stay true to what the rule changes are and they do top down make the changes, like, it's still 12 on 12. It's still Canadian football. You got the waggle. The field is still the same width. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, but like, who's going to miss the middle 10 yards, right? Other than quarterbacks who hit a long bomb just for their stats. It's still the Canadian, like that part of it is still the Canadian part of it. If we were to all of a sudden go to 11 on 11 and you all of a sudden get 4 downs, then I'm like, then that's where it gets a little fishy. But at the end of the day, that's what makes the Canadian game is like, yeah, you can talk about the Rouge all you want, and that's a whole different. I'm not going to get into that can of worms.
Oh,
but
come on, give
12,
us
12 on 12. The motion, the guys moving. That's the Canadian game, and the deeper end zones. Yeah, it's shortened by 5, but it's still the Canadian game.
How many kids, and if you have, that you've had that come from 6 or 9 man ball that have had to adapt to a 12-man game?
Lots, right? And that's even minor football right now. Like, I know Len Antonini and Giebert up north does a good job of it, is like they do play 6 aside. And then like the Mighty Mites are 6 on 6. And then as you grow, it goes to 9 on 9 and then 12 on 12. So it is a development league. Like, we had that argument in our coaches meeting, kind of just being like, well, is that Canadian football? Because it's 9 on 9. And then there's high school teams like Ryland Sokol, guys like that who've played Thunder and Rams. Like, they've had to make big jumps going from 9 on 9 aside to all of a sudden you're playing Thunder and it's 12 on 12, a bigger field. Like, so players can adapt, kids can adapt. It's not that's not a worry, but they still have the motion. They still got the movement. Like, that's what makes the Canadian game so great, is you can do so much and you only have 3 downs.
You mentioned Ryland Sokol. I got to start doing some thunder pumping while I can here. So
nuts.
You have a ton of athletes actually from the CJFL, not just the Thunder. Why do you think those athletes are succeeding at the U Sports level?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to pump up Scotty McCauley's tires too much, but they do a great job, right? They get guys in there. They got a great program. Like, I mean, if you look at the Thunder's track record, they have a winning season every single year. It's kind of down to them in the Hilltops every year, the Battle of Saskatchewan, and they've got great coaches. They do a good job developing players, and then when they are either done their time or they choose to come to U Sports, they're ready to go, and they're just a little bit more physically mature. And lots of guys kind of need to go get some more playing experience, right, rather than not playing right away. But there's always going to be a few that can come in and play right away. So that's up to them to decide. But at the end of the day, like, the junior program's done a nice job getting those players a little bigger, stronger, faster, more developed, and just more game experience. And like a guy like Sokol coming from 9-a-side football, like, that's a perfect spot for a guy like that.
Game tomorrow, Manitoba. Reason I love the league is because you never know what's going to happen. Game in, game out. We've talked about that a lot, Coach. Manitoba comes in here. Now, you, to your own admission, you learn a lesson from what Calgary does to you on the kick, although you win that game. What do you learn from Saskatoon and them maybe keeping that door open, letting them back in? They nip you up there. Both of those, I'm sure, have been solid learning tools for you and the team.
Yeah, definitely. We call them lessons, not losses, and it was a big lesson. And like, the exciting part is, like, I we lost to them by 2 points. I don't think we played our best football, which is the exciting part. Like, we almost won not playing the best football. So I'd say, like, I don't want to say I'm glad we lost, but it's kind of a good thing that we lost, just to be like, hey, like, we need to be better if we want to win in this conference. We talk about it all the time. We talk about 60 minutes. Like, we're not going to be up by 40 at half. Those games just don't exist in Canada West. So we got to play the full 60 minutes, and we got to execute when it matters the most. And we were able to do that in Calgary in that overtime game. Late against UBC, we had a big drive to kind of put the dagger in them and like things like that. So we just didn't find a way to execute late in the fourth quarter against our provincial rivals. So we just got to do our job the next couple of games here, get into playoffs, and I'm sure we'll be facing the Huskies again. What does Manitoba have? What are people going to see? Not to give away the game plan against them, but what's their makeup? Yeah, they're a good team. They got probably arguably the best quarterback in the conference. He was up for the Heck Crichton last year. He's just super athletic, kind of like Tim Tebow-esque, can run all over you and hurt you with his legs and with his arm. They got a lot of great receivers. They're fast. And then on defense, like, they're big. Like, they got big D linemen and they got athletic linebackers. So we're going to have our hands full. There's no, just because they're 2-2 or whatever, we're 3-1. Like, it doesn't matter in Can West. They're a good football team, and we just got to make sure we show up and be ready to go by 2 tomorrow. So, obviously, the Canada West is always a knife fight every year. What drives the Rams now? What is your guys' motto, your reason to fight, I guess? I mean, we just don't like the Huskies, so that's enough reason right there. Just like you, I'm sure you don't like the Hilltops either. Oh, yeah, I know. Tomorrow will be a knife fight as well in Saskatoon. Hey, I know. I grew up right by that stadium. That's the norm. yeah, for sure. No, at the end of the day, we're trying to just continually get better, and like, I think we got a lot to prove. I mean, be the same as the Thunder, right? When you look at the national stage, when you're recruiting these 5-star top Canadian players, some of them don't even know the UofR exists. And then you start talking about, like, we're always the underdog. We're a small school. We got 12,000 people. We don't have all the programs that U of S has and Calgary has and UBC. Like, when you look who we recruit against in the Canada West, like, there's no reason for us to even really be there. So we always have that kind of chip on our shoulder, but we still stay true to the Saskatchewan roots. Like, we're grinders, we're hard workers, and we don't care what the temperature is, where we're going to play. We're just going to outwork everyone. And that's just kind of been our motto since I've been here in like 2007 when I played for Frank. Yeah. Awesome. I was at a high school game in Austin last week listening to the game, and everyone's like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, oh, our university team's playing the other university team and all that. And I started going into like the different rules and all that, which I didn't know it was going to come up Monday. I was like, yeah, we got 12 men on the field. It's a bigger field, all that. They were like, oh, what? I was like, yeah, we play barefoot. They're like, what? I'm like, just kidding. Okay, Coach, have a good one tomorrow. I'm excited to watch. It should be a gooder, and then we'll hopefully catch up next week. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys. Right on. Rams head coach Mark McConkey at 2:00 tomorrow, Mosaic Stadium. Rams and Manitoba. We got a break. It is the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com and on the home of the Rams, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Tomorrow is game day as the Riders take on the Edmonton Elks. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitco's at 2. The pregame show's at 4. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 5. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by Salford Equipment, Western Ag Professional Agronomy, and the Saskatchewan NDP Caucus. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 140,000 5-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 plus standard installation is included. For all your hot water needs, call on Reliance. Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
Plan for success in 2026 with the help from the Co-op Grow team. With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Ag Zone. Make a successful 2026 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow team today.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today.
Their depth chart for the game. Benny Sapp the third. On the other corner, Marcus Sales is in. Mirko's in as the punter. Coach is out. Interesting. 2 o'clock we start here tomorrow. 5 p.m. kickoff. Sports Select Pro Line has the Riders at 170. Over under 54.5. We'll have to talk about that. CFL, the week of returning quarterbacks. Vernon Adams back in. Davis Alexander. Now Zach Collaros is playing football tomorrow. He's been named the starters for Winnipeg against Hamilton. High school ball, under the lights in Lumsden. Devils hosting Moose Jaw Vanier, both undefeated. Should be a good one in the Valley. Miller's at O'Neill and Johnson at Tom. Those are both at Libel, 5:15 and 7:30. Riffle and Knoll, 5:15 at Mosaic. They're playing early, the Battle of Rochdale. I guess you don't want to play that one too dark. Leboldus and Campbell, late one at Mosaic tonight. Jays hosting the Rays, starting a 3-gamer season-ending series for them, tied with the Yankees. Local hockey, Pats home opener, Raiders in town, 7 p.m. Puck drop, Medicine Hats and Swift, Blades in Lethbridge, SJHL. Estevan's at Weyburn, Melville welcomes Humboldt. Flin Flon travels to Nipawin, LaRange and Melfort, Warman in Kindersley. Sports Ticker in Hour 1 for Reliance Heath Water Heater. Rent a new water heater and a softener together and get $400 in cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today. Speaking of the Regina Pats and the home opener, let's chat with Dante as he tees up tonight's festivities under the orange top. Regina Pats home opener against the Prince Albert Raiders. Dante DeCaria joining us from the Regina Pats. All right, Dante, let's start first off with the tailgate party or the pre-party. Tell everybody what's going to be going on there.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. I guess we'll just start with that tailgate party, which is presented by Bennett Dunlop Ford. It begins exactly at 5 p.m. That will be on the west side of the Brand Center. So those are the doors that you can enter through, which is right beside the Regina Pats store. Now, there is a part inside the Brand Center that's formerly known as Egg X that has now been rebranded to the Bennett Dunlop Ford Party Pit. And we will have a live band performance from a Canadian rock band called Bleecker. And the cool part about that, Barney, is that this Canadian rock band will actually be debuting a song that they have written and now will be performing for the Regina Pats. So they've written a song about the Regina Pats. It's essentially the club's new anthem. Now, it has not been released to the public just yet, but tomorrow they will be debuting it inside the Brand Center. So to me, that's super exciting. Their drummer, Chris, is from Regina. He joined the band in 2016, and I know his roots come all the way back to the Queen City, so super special. Other than that, rally towels on all the seats throughout the Brand Center so the team or the fans can kind of support their team. And on top of that, we've got a barbecue, we've got store specials and more. Definitely going to be a really fun atmosphere.
What about tickets, people? I know that there are tickets available. It is going to be very full. But for the walk-up crowd, any kind of packages, what should we say about tickets to people?
Yeah, absolutely, Barney. We just launched a new bevy pack. More details on that available at reginapats.com. Other than that, it seems like all the premium sections are sold out, but kind of the big one that I guess we've been pushing is the bevy pack. I'd have to look at the price. I believe it's $29.99, so you get yourself a beverage, of course, with the ticket as well, and obviously a big shout-out to Real and our partners at Levy for that.
Sounds exciting. It's going to be awesome. New tune, little pregame party, and Dante. Hey, there's a lot of local boys in the lineup, starting with Maddox Schultz.
Yeah, I think that to me that's the coolest thing. I mean, you talk about, yourself and your son who's coming through the ranks in Hockey Regina. I think a lot of kids in the community have to be super proud to see 6 local players on the opening night roster or on the home opening roster. That's super special. Maddox Schultz, this kid's the real deal. I know people in the city have been asking, well, he hasn't scored a goal, he hasn't had a point yet to start the season, but you just watch the way he plays. And he had a couple of beautiful plays on the road in Medicine Hat that easily could have went in the back of the net, but unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. So other than that, you've got Mayette, Tabashnik, Dace Durkach playing at home where his father made his name. That's going to be super special for him. So tons of storylines, tons of things to be excited about.
Right on. All right, Dante, have a great call.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
There it is, Dante DeCara from the Regina Pats. Go get your tickets. Home opener tonight at the Brandt Center, 7 p.m., but big party before a debut of a song and all that. So it should be good. Again, tickets available, reginapats.com. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on the home of the Regina Pats, 620 CKRM.
This is 620 CKRM Regina, the voice of Saskatchewan, a Harvard media station, streaming everywhere at 620CKRM.com.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News. Postal workers across Canada are striking in response to federal approval of major changes at Canada Post. The Crown Corporation can now expand community mailboxes and cut some rural services. The union, representing 55,000 workers, calls this a direct attack on stable jobs and universal service. Regina Cup W President Morgan Jansen expressed disappointment at the threat to rural service, among other changes and cuts.
As far as our customers go, we are extremely upset over the cuts that are coming, and especially with the rural towns and everything. Essentially, the government and Canada Post are saying that they're just not valued at all anymore. And too bad, so sad. You just aren't valuable enough to get service.
The government says action is needed to address falling revenues. Mail delivery is suspended during the strike, except for essential government payments. City Council in Regina has chosen a middle ground for renewing its bus fleet, supporting hybrid purchases and refurbishing older diesels. The decision came after a lengthy debate on Wednesday about replacing nearly 50 buses. Administration reported electric buses would cost more than $100 million without major subsidies. Councillor Shannon Zakidniak's compromise motion passed 7-4 with support from Mayor Chad Baczynski. Council directed staff to return in 2030 with new recommendations or sooner if better funding becomes available. Council said the plan balances climate goals and financial pressures. The RCMP have confirmed the extradition of 69-year-old Earl Warren from London, UK, to face several historical sexual offence charges in Saskatchewan. Warren, once from the Saskatoon RCMP area, returned to Canada on September 17th. He had fled after missing a court date in May 2023, prompting a Canada-wide warrant. Warren was originally arrested in 2020 after a report to police in 2019. He now faces 3 counts of sexual assault and 4 counts of invitation to sexual touching of a minor. His next court appearance is October 24th. The Liberal government reintroduced legislation to remove the military's ability to investigate and prosecute sexual offences under the Criminal Code. Defence Minister David McGuinty says this puts cases of sexual assault and other such offences in the hands of civilian authorities.
It's very important for any victim that may be subject to this kind of nefarious and unacceptable and deplorable behaviour is to remember that they have to be able to trust the system. They have to have the support they need. They need to have the confidence that it's transparent, predictable, that they have the support that they need to come forward.
The Liberals tried to implement these reforms last year, but the bill never made it to second reading and died when former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau prorogued Parliament at the start of this year. And Owl's Well That Ends Well. Officers in Winnipeg rallied together on Thursday after a great horned owl got stuck in some protective netting near a detachment parking lot. They cut the netting with a sharp knife attached to a long pole and freed the dangling and distressed bird. Local zookeepers assessed the owl before releasing it back into the wild. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks. 1865 McCarra Street. Tonight, clear sky and wind diminishing, low down to 8. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, wind southwest 15 to 25, gusts up to 35 in the afternoon, and a high of 25. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low down to 10. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 26. Starting the week Monday, mostly sunny but breezy, and a high of 24 on Monday. And then Tuesday, mostly sunny, and a high of 28. Right now in downtown Regina, clear sky and 18 degrees.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
All right. Almost home time for a lot of you getting into the weekend here for Nelson Homes. Greg from the Piffles podcast co-hosting with me today. Hour one was a lot of fun if you missed it. Wes Cates in telling an all-timer on his CFL career. Mark McConkey from the UofR Rams. Coming up, Farhan Lalji from TSN is going to be here in a bit. And that will be interesting to get Farhan's take on all this. Also, Maddox Schultz from the Regina Pats. We'll talk about the home opener. Any pressure on the youngster tonight, 7 p.m. And we gave away the tickets. Thanks to everyone who messaged in on the Prairie Land Rentals text line for the tickets. You can keep messaging in with your comments, like no name here. Oh, Darcy in Melville. New CFL rules will just lead to more punting. Possibility, Darcy. I'm going to wait and see on that.
I don't know how. I don't know how that one works, but well, guess we'll see.
We'll have to. Maybe it's but I guess the field is shorter, goalpost to the back, so maybe he's thinking we're not going to see a lot of the 40-yard attempts.
Maybe.
Instead, we'll just punt her into the 15. Wait, Darcy, send us in your thoughts on that.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious on the context on that one because I don't see how it makes a difference, but maybe.
On the YouTube chat, thanks to everyone who's hit the like button there. Colson appreciates that because he gets to gauge things a little bit more. It's way over my skis. I don't pay attention. If the fields change at Mosaic, does that mean the UofR will have to look at different fields to play the game? Very good question. We've been talking about it all week. We don't know. What some are thinking, Arash started this, and the field turf life is about 10 years for professional football. So that's got to be replaced anyway in the next couple. How old is Mosaic? 7. So 2 years it's got to be replaced.
They've already replaced the field once.
Have they?
They have.
Yeah. And then so the next time around, maybe, just speculating, spitballing, is they will not have everything stitched in, and they'll go more with what they have the Los Angeles Stadium, where it's nothing but paint and paint and paint.
Winnipeg's is Princess Auto is painted for sure. I know that.
Yeah?
Yes. And that's actually was funny when they did the stadium. We kind of pointed out that's kind of weird for a multi-use stadium to stitch in all the lines because you wanted to use it for soccer. That was the plan, was to use it for all these different events. But it always cracked me up that the Mosaic logo they paint, but the Rider logos are stitched in.
Concur. Yeah, that is. So I think they could, again, maybe, they go with turf, the CFL paints it, moves the goalposts, and then they go back to, if the other leagues don't go, to the other users, which the other users are really only high school football and the Rams. The Thunder, they play
one game a year, sometimes two, depending on play.
Could the Thunder get away with playing everything at Libel?
We could, definitely. The Hilltops game is the big one, obviously, because more fans come down.
Wouldn't it be so nice and cozy at Libel?
Oh, it would be.
How many were there for the Okanagan game last year?
It was really cold, that game. But
my buddy won the 50-50.
It was packed. There was people on the berm. It
was awesome.
Yeah, the seats were packed. We had people up in above in the Regina Martin football balcony there.
You should sell the premium tickets.
Yeah. Actually, I think we gave that one to the alumni. So, yeah, you had those meatheads up there. It was fun, though.
But, they could, maybe, we don't know.
But I think, and I don't know, maybe it was mentioned on this show, but the Riders already have to pay for painting on the field for Rams games anyway.
Someone did bring that up.
Because of the hash marks. Yeah.
Could be. Don't know. If they don't adopt the changes, I bet you that there is going to be an easy fix here that we're going to look back and go, oh, remember that week in September when we were losing our minds and everyone was losing their minds and we were worried about this? Can I use my quote from yesterday? Sure. We have people living in space. I think they can figure this out. Maybe I'm crazy.
They have trouble getting those people down sometimes.
So keep the messages coming and questions. There was one from Ron and Deb here, and to be honest, I didn't really get it. Okay, Ron and Deb, let's talk Pats. My favorite, not that one. I think with a live 35-second clock, you will get fewer plays run, and teams ahead at 3-minute mark can drain the clock. You need at least 2 to 3 timeouts per half, or the clock will win. Maybe that's something they do, add timeouts.
There's been rumors of that, but I've seen this complaint a lot, but I think a lot of people forget to realize the game clock's always moving. It's not the play clock that gets reset. So you have situations where, and the Bombers are notorious for this, their guys get out there just a little bit slower. So they're taking 50 seconds off the clock when it's only a 20-second play clock. So this actually standardizes it.
I again, that's one that I need to see.
Yeah.
And how are either side going to circumvent these rules a bit? What's going to be the loophole that we're not picking up on?
Well, we're both Patriots fans. Bill Belichick was one of the best at finding a loophole in the rule book and exploiting it. And there will be someone who finds a loophole in these new rules.
Yes, sir. We're just going to move on. We got rules. That's Bill.
Don't. If I had a time machine and tell Bill not to go to the college ranks.
Is that embarrassing? To think about Bill, not to get sidetracked here, but what's gone on his last, after Brady left, what was that, 3 years, 2 years with the Patriots?
4, I think, but yeah.
Talk about dumpster fire and just crapola. And then now he's going to this, talk about legacy and you're dating someone that's in their 20s, which, hey, if you're a dude, you're like, yeah, good job, Bill, but everything looks weird in his life right now.
If Bill Belichick would have, even after what happened in New England, just left, did TV like he was doing, didn't go back to coaching, he'd still go down as probably one of the best, if not the best of all time.
Well, for sure. Now it's like people are talking about, can Russell Wilson play his way out of the Hall of Fame? Not that Bill will. His resume.
Bill's still going in, but
thanks to Tom, as we're finding out.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's. We've been waiting for him, and we got him. Let's talk with TSN's Farhan Lalji.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Big bad TSN employee, Farhan Lalji. Talk about the bad rap you guys have been getting all week, hey, sir?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like you're not allowed to actually believe in something. If you believe in it, it's just so ridiculous that there's got to be an agenda behind it. And it's been one of those things. The hardcores are now all over TSN because the majority of our analysts are in support of the rule changes. Now, look, I haven't spoken to Suter about it yet, and I don't know if you've had him on since the changes, and I would imagine, just knowing Glenn the way that I do, that he's probably not happy. But the rest of us kind of are looking at the changes as changes. Everybody wants to view these things philosophically, and I'm trying to really avoid that. I'm just trying to look at the changes and see what the net effect is going to be on the game, and react accordingly. But certainly that's on a lot of dartboards, and what are you going to do, right? It's that you have that platform, and those are the choices you make.
You're not moving, like you're not out of your house. Things are so bad. You're on the run or anything, are you? No. And Glenn was actually somewhat supportive of everything. And again, he wants to see it. We've talked to him a couple times. Before I go to Greg here, I got to ask you, where did, because I know you're close with him, where did Nathan Rourke's maybe jump the gun, I felt, comments land with you?
Well, look, I like Nathan a lot, and not just as a player, but as a person. I've known him for a long time, and I feel this way about a lot of the quarterbacks around the league. And I appreciate Nathan's love for this league and love for the game, because it's different since he's come back from the NFL, right? I mean, he had 2 really negative years in terms of his experience down there, just in terms of the business and the politics and all of it. And then when he came back, he was just so he embraced back, and he's got an appreciation for this game and this league that he didn't have prior to when he left. So I love that part of it. And I think the league needs somebody like Nathan to wear the flag and to champion it. In 2021 and 2, he wasn't necessarily comfortable doing that. So I think it's great. But he's trying to take a different philosophical approach than I am, right? Whereas I'm just looking at it play by play. So he finds this game a lot more enjoyable. Every person that's played in both games, go talk to Alex Singleton. He will tell you he had a blast playing in the Canadian Football League. But at the end of the day, money talks. So here I appreciate that Nathan kind of had a bit of an emotional reaction, and early on, you go in and you talk to Sean White, and Sean White's aghast because he's a kicker. And then, there's a lot of people in the Lions room that Nathan believes support his opinion, or he's supporting, their feelings. But I just think a lot of these guys have kind of said, okay, well, Nathan's pretty upset. I'm just going to support my leader, my quarterback, to ride with 12. So I think there's a bit of that that's going on, and I just don't think his opinion is a widespread one around the league between Canadians and Americans. And here's the other thing. If you're Nathan, don't tell me that because you're Canadian you care more. Because Bo Levi Mitchell's been here 12, 14 years, right? He cares as much as anybody. He's invested as much as anybody. So a long-time American player that's been in this league, I think, has just as much credibility on this issue as a Canadian does.
The Sean White, when he came out with that, I felt like it was very Dumb and Dumber. We have no food. We have no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off. I'm like, settle down.
Well, we're going to need kickers, aren't we?
Well, you think so.
You're going to need really good kickers.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm sure there's a little bit of concern on the part of the kickers because, distance is going to matter more, right? As opposed to right now, you get a lot of CFL kickers that kind of not get away with, accuracy is a skill where they get to prioritize accuracy. And someone like Sean is later in his career, and he's one of the most accurate kickers in the league still. Does he have the distance he did before? Probably not. There may be some kickers that are feeling that way. But the bottom line for me is if you're kicking consistently at 60, you're in the NFL anyway, right? Like 60 yards, not 60 years old. So, I get it. There's some concern, but I think these changes are going to be net positive, right? Like we see less than 2 missed field goals per year returned for touchdowns. I think it's going to be net positive.
Kicking at 60, I thought we were going to talk about Louis Pasaglia coming out of retirement or something. But Nathan and Mike O'Shea, their major complaints were they were blindsided by this. They say they're stakeholders in this game. I understand this was a tight-knit thing and the CFL is going to do what they're going to do, but should there have been an olive branch or a meeting of some sort before this got dropped so that everyone was on the same marching orders? Or
yeah, Greg, it's a fair question, right? Just in terms of how this played out on the PR side. But in terms of in terms of coaches and players being in the process, I have my questions about that. And I say that because they're not the best people to talk to in terms of entertainment for this game. Like, they can tell you how to successfully execute a play and how to successfully play in this game, but they're not necessarily the people to decide what's the most entertaining part of the product. And, I made the point on my social media rant yesterday that the league went through this a year ago. Like in the offseason, the Rules Committee had a proposal before them from the league. The league was really fearful of potentially a Grey Cup being decided on a missed field goal, right? And you get that Liram Haralahu moment, from Toronto last year, where he's got his hands up in the air celebrating a missed field goal to win a game. They don't want the optics of that. Like, you should not want to be a punchline, right? Like, you should take away any option someone has to make you a punchline. You got to get rid of that. So they tried to get them to pass it where they would just eliminate the rouge on missed field goals that couldn't be returned in playoff games in overtime. That's it, right? Like, not at any point in the regular season, not at any point during the body of a game, just playoff games, overtime. And they couldn't get that through Rules Committee. So when you go through that process, why would you want to involve the coaches? They're not going to get you anywhere here, right? Like, the coaches are great at what they do, but what they do is not entertain people. That's not their mandate.
Oh, and I 100% agree with you on that one. And the fact that they couldn't get the rouge, that even most ardent fans were going, can we get rid of the free point on failure? Like, that would have been an easy go. But I guess my
you would think.
You would think. But my question is, do you think PR-wise it would have been smarter for them to go, this is what we're doing, let's all get on the same page, and not even a discussion about it, at least come out as a unified front? Would that have probably quelled some fans' panic?
Yeah, potentially. But, you could get into the same meeting and Mike O'Shea could have the same reaction, right? So, look, obviously hindsight is what it is, right? You can go back and say we could have done this differently. Did we need to do it now? Could we have announced it at Grey Cup? There's a lot of parts of the process, but I think that coaches and players wanted input more so than when they were communicated to. You know what I mean? I think they would have been upset whether they found out 48 hours or 24 hours before the announcement came out, as opposed to, I think they actually wanted meaningful input because that's what they're used to, especially the coaches. So, and overall, talking to a number of these guys, they're not offended by it. I've talked to some coordinators in this league that think it's fantastic. I talked to a defensive coordinator. You think, wow, they've just made rules even harder for defense. And he's like, no, this is great. Let's go, right? So I just don't think the negative reaction has been widespread in the buildings. Certainly it has amongst the hardcore fans.
The answer to this question might be exactly the same, but if you were helping amateur football and moving forward, what would you vote on, or what would you say? And then what do you think they will do?
Here's what I would do. If I was Stu Johnson, I would find a way to help facilitate getting U Sports games on national television. I would make 3 CFL games, or I would make the Vanier Cup and the 2 national semifinals part of the CFL package. And when you sell it to TSN, we're doing these 3 collegiate games as well. Or find some way, whether it's that mechanic or not, put those games on national television. Have the CFL involved. Let's get the CFL involved in promoting U Sports. Let's get the CFL social media team, because they've got a pretty good footprint, to get out to U Sports homecoming games and big time rivalry games and games where U Sports looks its best. And go to U Sports and say, look, let's align. Let's build the brand together. We're going to help you get on television. We're going to help you promote your product, and you're going to change your rules to what we're doing. Right? And we can do this together. We can all come out win-win. There's a way to navigate this. So if I was advising them, I think that would be the next step. Like, just get aligned with U Sports, and then from that you can work your way down into amateur football. Like, I don't know how many turf fields there are in Regina or in Saskatchewan. You know, my buddy,
I can count them on this hand. I can count them on this hand,
okay.
Farhan.
So where's all the angst coming from, right? Like, okay, if there needs to be some support to build new sleeves and potentially paint some lines on those fields, I would bet the Riders would help. So, you know, like, most of these fields are played on grass where the goalposts come up and down every Christmas anyway, right? Like, they take them out when the snow comes out. So it shouldn't be this level of angst where this is going to destroy amateur football and it's going to cause all these problems. I just don't get it. Like, if they choose not to do it, that's fine. I don't think anybody in amateur football should be forced to change these rules. But I'm having a difficult time believing how these things are deal breakers.
The America Light and the Big Bad Americans and all that. But I think it was you that made some points, and I was making this earlier in the week. The Americans, the NFL has looked at other leagues to improving their league as well, and some of the things they've looked at is stuff that we're doing up here.
Video replay came from the CFL.
Us hosers up here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the leagues they work together and collaborate on other things like officiating, and you know we've seen a lot of it. The 2-point convert was here. It eventually moved down there. The NFL within a couple of years is going to get to 18 games. Oh, guess which league's playing with 18 games? Right here, the Canadian Football League. And nobody looks at that and says they're Canadianizing. And in the U.S., it's like the fact that they can borrow from other things, like they view that as a positive. Their fans view that as a positive. This is the most successful sports league in the world. When you look at franchise valuations, you know, it's not like some of these European soccer leagues where there's some elite clubs and everybody else is in the basement, right? Like, this is a wildly profitable league, and yet they're constantly looking to improve their product. And you know, the big thing for them now, a dozen years ago, was concussions. Now it's, we got to shorten the games, right? And if they can look at ways to do that, then they're going to do that. And it's just what the market demands. So I just don't think that we should all be looking at this and saying we're Americanizing. There's only so many things you can do to improve the product, because it's still tackle football. It's still played, you know, on a field that can only go so far with stadium sizes and all these things. So we should be borrowing from each other. And while I don't believe the goal of the game is to make it the NFL, or the goal of the decision makers here, Stu Johnson and others, to make it the NFL, if the game becomes a little more relatable to NFL fans, nothing wrong with that.
I think we've beaten this dead horse still a little too much. Can we look ahead to the games this weekend?
Let's do it.
Riders in Edmonton. Edmonton is a desperate team. They got a little emotional going behind them with the passing of their owner. Are the Riders in trouble this week, or what do you think?
5.5.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think the Riders are better. I'm picking the Riders to win this game. The spread's big. I might have got it at 4.5. I'd have to go back and double check. But nonetheless, you know, I think Edmonton's kind of their last chance. There you go. I think I think the Elks last week might have shot their final shot, right? Like, it's going to be really difficult for Edmonton and Ottawa to get back into this at this stage, given the number of teams that are kind of in that mix, right? So I look at Saskatchewan. They're getting Emelis back. They're getting Sean Bain back. They're getting healthier. This team, I think they've had their ebbs. I think they're just going to, right now, I expect the Riders to ascend and win their games until the playoffs. I don't think they're going to lose a game again unless they decide to rest Trevor Harris and a bunch of other starters, you know, which could happen in the final week of the year. They're going to win football games. This team is going to start peaking again and playing its best football. I have no doubt about that. I think Edmonton kind of went on their run. Might they have a bit of an emotional lift because of Larry Thompson? They might. But Larry Thompson hasn't been the owner of the Elks for a long time, right? It's been new. He's great. I don't know whether or not he's kind of made his imprint on the players quite yet, like, say, Amar Doman might have done in Vancouver, you know, over the course of 4 years. So I don't want to minimize that. It's a tragic situation, but I don't know that alone is going to rally this team to victory. I just think Saskatchewan's better.
Okay, last one. Are you? Is it justified that people are selling Calgary stock and buying all this BC stock?
Yeah, I'd be nervous if I was a Calgary fan right now, for sure, right? I mean, you've seen kind of 3 ordinary performances from Vernon Adams in that offense. Teams are taking away the deep ball, and he's got to show that he can be patient and play underneath, which he did at various times with the Lions. I think that's there. but I think you want to see that. And then defensively, I'd be concerned too because, they got Jalen Hutchings back this week. So when they lost the second game against Edmonton, that was kind of the mulligan. Well, they got this guy back again, and it hasn't changed their fortunes. They struggled last week. So this is the first time this season they're going through it. And, it's the wrong time of year to be going through it. So, and BC offensively is just playing out of its mind right now, right? I mean, even without James Butler last week and without their best offensive lineman last week, they still put up a big number and did some great things. So now remember what Toronto did to them the last time. So let's see what BC's defense looks like. Otherwise, they're just going to have to outscore their mistakes.
Okay, I lied one more. I'm going to ask the same question I asked Glenn the other day. Did you sign an NDA on any of this?
No.
Okay.
But I did find out about it before it came out.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's you should. Right? All right. Okay. Have a good one. I still think you're okay, you TSN employees. I'm okay with some change.
Thanks, buddy.
From time to time. See you, Farhan. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend.
From TSN, Farhan Lalji. I don't think it's justified. I totally get why people are like, damn Easterners, MLSC. I totally get, because it's the same way we look at the south of the border.
I've seen so many posts about how the CFL doesn't care about the West. It blows my mind.
This is where their bread is buttered.
Oh yeah,
they for sure do. They're business. Yeah. They would. They don't have to like us, but they got to cater to it.
100%.
We are the place to be. We slap, as the kids say. West.
Oh God, don't
6,
do that again.
7. All right, it's getting to the bottom of the hour. We got Clutch Performer coming up. It is a Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. One full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Margaret had questions, she talked to Brian Gawley.
We have been with Brian right from when the tax-free savings account came into being. He gave us very solid advice.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone. Call Brian Gawley of Smart Investing Solutions. 306-546-2533.
I would not hesitate to recommend him to friend, relative, or anybody else.
We've got Tyler Lloyd with the Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation joining us to remind everyone that the final deadline in the Roughrider and Children's Hospital Foundation's lottery is midnight tonight.
That's right. This is your last chance to get in on the 10 incredible grand prizes, including your best chance to win $1 million.
Wow, imagine getting the call that you just won $1 million.
Yeah, one lucky ticket buyer in Saskatchewan will be getting that call very soon. Plus, there are over 1,000 other amazing prizes this year, including luxury vehicles, dream vacations, and other big cash prizes. And you can feel good knowing your ticket purchase helps kids right here in Saskatchewan.
Tyler, where can people get their tickets?
It's easy. Just go to riderschildren'slottery.ca.
Thanks, Tyler. Remember, this is your last chance. The final deadline's midnight tonight. Get your tickets now at riderschildren'slottery.ca.
In an ideal world, you're already driving one. When you're behind the commands of the Fendt Ideal Combine, you experience a workhorse that takes harvest to task. Real-time monitoring, 485 bushel grain tank that unloads at 6 bushels per second, all backed by a 3-year full machine warranty, plus all scheduled maintenance ensures your harvest doesn't stop. Now that's how you grow bold. See the Ideal Fendt Combine at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nickservice.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
All right, Clutch Performer time. Colson, you want to go first? Oh, this is funny. This was in practice round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a button to choke, Rory. Thank you.
If you're not watching the stream, Rory was trying to do up the top button with one hand on his golf shirt while the rest of his teammates are standing by getting ready to tee off. So then the guy, and they actually pointed at the guy saying, good one.
Yeah.
Good one. That's a boy, Colson. You know what? Mine, I will just say Clutch Performer today. Tommy Fleetwood from the Europeans. They are slapping the Americans around at Bethpage Black. They're up right now. Looks like the Americans are only going to win one match here in the afternoon. They got one tied. So I think, what is it? It could be a 6-2. Yeah, the Europeans look good. And I sprinkled on the Americans. Not good. Not good. Yes. Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Okay, let's also, thanks for the text message. End of 3, Wynyard Bears 46, Ituna Trojans 8. Let's go, Ituna Trojans. Let's get the bounce pass. That's actually a play we had in high school. Maybe the Thunder can use it. Quarterback would go back.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's on me and the wideout. So you drop back.
Yep.
Gordie Howe Bowl. It was obviously grass, not turf
back then. Yeah.
So I don't know if it would work that well on the turf. I'd have to try it. And then you drop back and you throw it out to your wide receiver.
Yeah.
And for us, it was always the left side. But the wide receiver was behind you, and you would one-hop it. Like you'd throw it, bounce it, boom. Wide receiver catches it.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of, high school kids are, for the most part, dumb.
Yep.
They're standing around, and then that guy hightails her to a backside post. Bounce pass. Bedford Road, Redmond. It was famous, and every year coaches would be like, they're going to do this stupid play, and they would, there's always one time a year you'd get it. Yeah, you have to bounce the old Wilson to your wide receiver. I know.
That is the most gadget play I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Yes.
No, I got a book full. This weird stuff. What we're gonna go? Yeah, text lines as well. So Shane's thoughts on the more punting, because if you're just tuning in, he said that there's we had a couple texts saying there's going to be more punts now.
Yeah.
With the way the play clock and the fields and all that. The thought behind more punts, 3rd and 8 from the 35 is now a punt and not a field goal. We will see way more punts and field goal attempts will go down. That's still a 50-yard field goal attempt. Professional football.
We've seen Sergio go out there and kick a 60. We've seen
the dude in Montreal?
Jose Maltos Diaz.
Jose.
Yeah. He's killing the ball. So you're still going to get those guys, but Farhan's right. You're going to have those. Unfortunately, guys are more known for their accuracy than their leg strength. Probably, unfortunately, not be as effective.
Take a seat.
Yeah.
The thing, though, Shane, is that I'm just thinking here as we spitball. There's no right or wrong. People, we're just talking here. We don't know. What you're going to get, though, is maybe that 3rd and 3 where you would auto field goal. You're going to gamble. Pressure's on. We're going to gamble. You're going to see more gambles in that 3rd and 3, 3rd and 3 and a bit, 3rd and 4 maybe.
You'd hope so. And I think that's the league's gamble on it.
Yeah.
Is that they're going to hopefully push more touchdowns and field goals. And now that the Rouge is gone, essentially, for lack of a better term, the way that they wrote the rules, yes, it still exists, but it's going to be few and far between now. I think there's going to be a lot more push to get touchdowns and field goals.
I think so as well. Colson, we got time to throw up the odds sprinkle time for Sports Select here. Like when we were talking to Farhan Lalji, I said it's a big number. This is the thing that I'm not sure. So if you go onto the Sports Select site, if you don't know about this now, and you place your bet, you're going to get a QR code on the right-hand side where you just take that, or if you do it on your mobile device, and you can just take that into the Lotto Spot retailer, they scan it, there you go. You don't have to fill out the ticket anymore, which I love doing on Sunday mornings at my local Sherwood Co-op. But the Riders, see that this moved. The pro line is 165. Yesterday it was 175, so the line is moving. And now the Riders on the point spread are -5. They were -5.5 yesterday, over under 54.5.
You're not a pencil chewer, are you? You're not one of those guys who gets the pencil out.
No.
Chewing on it. Well,
pencil stealer.
There you go.
Yeah, because those things come in handy.
On the golf course.
But what? 54.5.
That's a bigger number, but again, when you got a team, both teams can score when they want to. So
5 too many against Edmonton?
I think 5's right. It's going to be a touchdown game.
So if you are going to bet, you can always let us know too. What are you thinking there? Generating the code, so easy. If you're taking the pro line, you can do that. 18 plus, please play responsibly. We'll reconvene on Monday and see how it went. It's so easy now. The little barcode, bingo, bango, and then the futures. I had no idea all the futures on Sports Select as well. The rugby game tomorrow, Colson. And I know you don't sprinkle, but this, if you were going to, Canada on the pro line 290 against the favored England, English team, ranked 10, ranked 2, and that game goes at what time? Our time? Do we know?
I think it's 9 a.m.
Oh, that might be a good contest. I'll be in Fort Capel. Might head to the Houston Pizza for a coffee and flapjack and watch that in the fort. It's not a bad idea, actually. Still more to come. Check on the screen. So I see someone remembers the old bounce pass play. Colin at Bedford. That's right, Colin. We're a different breed. Let's go. Stay together. Maddox Schultz coming up after the break as the Pats get set for their home opener. Maddox Schultz, first ever game at home for the Regina Pats tonight, 7 p.m. It is a Sports Cage streaming through our YouTube channel and on Twitter, as well as I was just informed. I forgot about that. And also we're on the home of the Regina Pats, 620 CKRM. Hockey is back, and what better way to kick off the season than a visit to Extreme Hockey and Sport? September is Customer Appreciation Month, where every purchase qualifies you to receive your money back. At month end, 2 lucky winners will win back their purchase. Size doesn't matter. Product doesn't matter. Extreme Hockey and Sport. Locally owned, community-oriented, customer-focused, and don't forget the price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, and the Pro Shop, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
The Regina Thunder NFL Lottery is back, and tickets are available now. Each $20 ticket gets you the chance to win up to $500 each week of the NFL season. That's 18 chances to win. Tickets are available until October 6th, and you can still win for the weeks already played. No football knowledge needed. Proceeds support the Regina Thunder Student Athlete Scholarship Fund and team operations. Get your tickets at ReginaThunderNFLLottery.com.
Lottery license RR240660.
Plan for success in 2026 with the help from the Co-op Grow Team. With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Ag Zone. Make a successful 2026 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow Team today.
Freeze Tallman wants you to get her done before the winter. They can save you time and hassle by delivering your building materials directly to your home or cottage. They have siding, roofing, brown-treated lumber, composite decking, aluminum railing, fencing, everything you need to finish your outdoor building projects before snow falls. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Affordability in Canada is getting worse. Canadians are now paying nearly half their paycheck towards taxes. That's more than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. It's unacceptable. Conservatives stand with hardworking Canadians and will take aim at the affordability crisis by bringing down taxes, cutting spending towards needless bureaucracy and consultants, and fight for fiscal discipline in this Liberal government. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Leuven, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
Welcome back to Sportscage. Get social with us. Follow us on X at Sportscage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
There he is, Regina's Maddox Schultz, getting ready for the home opener tonight at the Brandt Center. Maddox, is it okay? I wore you alumni hoodie for you, Regina Pat Blues. Like, you want to give a shout out to the boys going into the year or anything?
Yeah, good luck to them. Obviously, played on that team for 2 years, and it was a really fun time. So, yeah, good luck to them.
We're pulling you away from school right now, kind of. You're doing the schooling thing. I got to ask, favorite subject, or what subject are you the best at?
I'm taking a hockey skills class, so probably that. I'm going to be honest, but Karen has done a really good job. One of the tutors here helped me with math, so been doing pretty good at that so far with the help of her.
Right on. Yeah, you got to keep that GPA and those marks up, right? Make sure you make the clearinghouse, all that stuff. Okay, let's talk about. It was months ago we talked, and we had the one-on-one with you, and you said probably the most nervous you were to that point in your hockey career is when you got called up to play with the Pat Canadians as a first-year Bantam kid and going through the motions of that day. Your dad wasn't there. tomorrow night, or tonight, I mean, home opener. You played games in the league now last weekend with the Regina Pats, but the home opener in Regina for the Regina Pats for you, will that carry any extra maybe pressure, maybe some nerves, do you think?
Yeah. Obviously, playing in front of your hometown team, the crowd, obviously there's going to be some pressure, but, I think just got to go out there and play your game. Obviously, the PA Raiders are a pretty good hockey team, so, they're going to be coming up flying and looking for a win, so we got to be, ready for that.
Look at this. He's got the standard answers down pat already. I love it. So the thing that Dante said was before the first game, you were like laser focused, headphones on, and Liam Pugh was kind of more like the loose Jova. Are you guys different in that way before a game? Are you more like laser focused in kind of thing where he likes to kind of keep it a little more light?
Yeah, obviously, we're going to have some differences, even though we're pretty close. But he's a little loosey-goosey. If that's what gets him ready, that's what gets him ready. But yeah, I like to be pretty dialed in, visualizing before the game, and that helps me play to my advantages.
Okay, let's give the kids something here. What are you listening to before the games in those headphones?
Rap, obviously, gotta keep it pretty standard.
6'7"?
No. I've seen that meme a few times. Got some buddies who laugh about that with me, but it's probably just some Drake and maybe some Ghana.
Okay.
Some Ghana.
Okay. I know who Drake is. I have no idea who the other person is, so that just shows my age. We'll move on from that. How many family and friends do you think tonight for you in the barn?
Definitely a lot. Some aunties and uncles already have some Schultz jerseys, which is obviously super cool. Having my name on the back of a Pats jersey that my family has, it's obviously real special. And I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity that the Pats have given me. And really looking forward to the start of this home opener.
Are they just loading in a van of some sort, or just trucks from Central Butte? How are they all getting in from Mumstown?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're probably going to be carpooling together, but just super excited for them to come too.
Any words of encouragement before the season, before last week, and you played from former Pat players or anybody sent to you?
It was pretty cool. Connor Bedard actually reached out to both me and Liam after, the first game there after Swift, and that was super cool to hear from him. And obviously he's one of me and Liam's idols, so it's pretty cool that he reached out to us, and super cool to hear from him.
Where have you taken Liam in the city of Regina? Have you taken anywhere cool, like so maybe your favorite food place or anything like that?
We've been golfing a few times over at the Royal. He's looking at me right now.
Who wins that?
He's the better golfer, I can say. He's giving me the smile right now, but he's probably the better golfer. I think I'm getting close to him, but he's probably got me there.
Last weekend, the first two games that you play, how do you feel you played? And I guess the generic question, what was the biggest difference?
I thought I played pretty well. Obviously it's a different pace out there, and it's something kind of got to get used to. Recently, it's been pretty crazy. All the pressure that's come with it, but I think pressure is just time crunched down. And, I think the biggest pressure that I put on myself is, putting up points. But I think, I'm a different player than a lot of guys. It's great that Liam scored. But I got to make sure that I'm, playing well in my D zone and, helping out my defenseman there too.
How was the Pack Canadians game for you both the other night?
Yeah, it was really fun. Obviously some nostalgia.
At 10 minutes, everyone's looking at the penalty minutes. They're like, "What's going on with these two guys?"
Yeah, he got a 10-minute. I played around 29 minutes, which is, a lot for me as a forward. And at one point, we had a short bench, so there was like 3 forwards on our bench at a time. So that was an eye-opener for sure. But, it's a really fun game.
Yeah, for a while there. Yeah, you got the win. Estevan, no slouch. For a while there, I was watching it. I thought they were trying to set a record for most penalties called in a AAA game at one point, but we'll leave that over there. All right, man. Exciting night for you. Pretty excited. Work on that golf swing over the next few weeks, right? You got to kind of nip Liam before golf season's done maybe, but good luck tonight. And then Maestro Fresh West and Snow, a couple of Canadian rappers. Your parents would know them. Maybe download some of their stuff before a game.
Might have to.
Thanks, Maddox.
Yeah, no worries.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at SaskAgToday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
Time is running out. The final deadline in the Roughrider and Children's Hospital Foundation's lottery is midnight tonight. Don't miss your chance to win big. There's over 1,000 prizes, including your best chance to win $1 million. Imagine driving away in a luxury vehicle, jetting off on a dream vacation, or scoring fantastic rider prizes. But hurry, the final deadline is midnight tonight. Help Saskatchewan kids and get your tickets now at riderschildrenslottery.ca. Lottery license LR250022. Please play responsibly.
The care your family receives in hospitals, schools, and community programs comes from SEIU West members who live in your community. We're united around something simple. When working people have what they need to do their jobs well, everyone benefits. Our conditions of work are your conditions of care. For more information, visit seiuwest.ca.
Name's Terry Touchdown, sent by Western Pizza. I'm here to deliver the Saskatchewan Roughriders sweet deal. A large 3-topping pizza, 4 sticks of Greek souvlaki, a large Caesar salad, and a liter of soda. All for just $48.95 plus tax. And you're entered to win luxury suite tickets to watch the Riders, like a VIP.
And get it hot and get it fast, Western Pizza.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
The Regina Thunder NFL Lottery is back, and tickets are available now. Each $20 ticket gets you the chance to win up to $500 each week of the NFL season. That's 18 chances to win. Tickets are available until October 6th, and you can still win for the weeks already played. No football knowledge needed. Proceeds support the Regina Thunder Student Athlete Scholarship Fund and team operations. Get your tickets at ReginaThunderNFLLottery.com.
Lottery license RR240660.
Country Corner, brought to you by Municipal Hail Insurance. Proudly serving farmers. MunicipalHail.ca.
Check out the Cream of the Crop Trade and Craft Show, October 10th and 11th at the Connexus Arts Center. Over 60 local vendors ranging from artwork and handcrafted jewelry to culinary delights and home decor. More details at connexusartcenter.ca. Get ready to party with the James Barker Band in Moose Jaw. It's the Bud Light Buckle Up Tour coming to the Temple Garden Center on November 20th. Grab your tickets at templegardencenter.ca. And Saskatchewan's own Hunter Brothers bring their Homegrown Nights Tour to Regina November 27th. Special guest Shantea. Grab your tickets at connexusartcenter.ca or stop by the box office.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sports, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
Some changes for the Saskatchewan Roughriders heading into Edmonton tomorrow. Jesse Mirko is going to be the punter. Marcus Sales is in the lineup. Benny Sapp III is going to play the other cornerback spot there. 2 o'clock we start here. Kickoff 5 o'clock tomorrow. As for the CFL, kind of a return of the quarterbacks. Vernon Adams is back this week. He seems good to play, I guess. Davis Alexander's back from Montreal. Now Zach Collaros will be playing for Winnipeg. High school football under the lights in Lumsden tonight. The Devils hosting Moose Jaw Vanier, both undefeated. Should be a nice one there. Miller's at O'Neill starting at 5:15 at Libel. Johnson at Tom, 7:30 at Libel. Then the Battle of Rochdale. Riffle and Winston Knoll, 5:15 at Mosaic. They got the early one. You got to let them play before it gets too dark. And then Laboldis and Campbell have it rented for the late one. Jays hosting the Rays, starting a 3-gamer season-ending series, tied with the Yankees. Some local hockey under the orange top. The Pats home opener versus the Prince Albert Raiders, 7 p.m. A lot of festivities going on before. Elsewhere in the East, Medicine Hats and Swift. The Blades are in Lethbridge. Some SJHL. Estevan is at Weyburn. Melville welcomes Humboldt. Flin Flon is in Nipawin. Larange at the Northern Lights Palace in Melfort. And Warman is in Kindersley. In hour 2, the ticker is 4. Extreme Hockey and Sport. Home of the price match guarantee. Find a cheaper price. Take it to Extreme Hockey. The local guys and girls have you covered there. Extreme Hockey and Sport. 2 hours in the books of the Sports Cage. A lot to get to. Keep the text messages coming at 936-6262. Prairieland Rentals text line, 600 Albert Street. Get to deal with the owner. Anything you need from power tools to skid steers, they can help you out. Hour 3, we're going to have Greg will be back. Rob Vanstone is supposed to join us. We're going to hear some rider audio from head coach Mace ahead of the game. And then a really interesting interview with Ali Sad and his football journey and life journey and where he is right now. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com and on Twitter, and we're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
We are the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news for Echo Sound and Fort Capel. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Canada Post workers are on strike nationwide after the federal government gave the Crown Corporation approval to cut costs, including ending daily home delivery. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers says Ottawa's plan is a direct attack on services and jobs. The union argues the changes will erode public trust and push privatization. Cup W local president Morgan Jansen was among those on the picket line in Regina today, and he talked about what their reaction to the government's recommendations was.
Right now the workers are still in shock and very surprised over what's happened here, although it's kind of inevitable when the government comes in and does all the heavy lifting for the corporation and the corporation doesn't negotiate at all.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers says it wants Ottawa to walk back the changes announced yesterday and do a public mandate review to shape the future of the post office. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency and the provincial government are asking residents to mark Sunday as Test Your Smoke Alarm Day. Officials say working alarms give people enough warning to escape during a fire. Data shows that 59% of fire deaths happen in homes without functioning smoke alarms. Fire Marshal Wayne Roger urges residents to press the test button monthly. Since July 2022, all Saskatchewan homes must have smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Details are at saskpublicsafety.ca. Searchers are ramping up their search for a 6-year-old boy last seen at a southern Alberta campground on Sunday. RCMP Corporal Gina Slaney says there is still optimism that Darius McDougall, who has autism, will be found.
We understand that there are concerns that we are going to start scaling back the search, but this is not the case. As of today, we have additional resources on site, which includes 60 TSG RCMP officers, which is our tactical support group. Their main role will be to supplement our already happening search efforts.
Authorities say they have not yet requested help from the Canadian Forces to help in the efforts. And the Chinese toy maker behind the popular Labubu dolls is opening its first store in Canada.
Pop Mart will open its debut Canadian location in the Vancouver area at the CF Richmond Centre Mall. The chain says it'll open during Pop Mart's fourth quarter, with more details being released next month. Pop Mart is behind the immensely popular Labubus. They routinely sell out and have sparked a whole world of fakes. But the brand may be best known for selling its collectible toys and figurines in blind boxes. Those conceal their contents, encouraging customers to keep buying more in order to collect an entire range. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
This back-to-school season, don't be prehistoric.
Mom, my phone is basically a fossil.
Sweetie, your phone's older than a T-Rex.
Time to evolve at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
They have new phones, back-to-school deals, internet and Max TV stream, and no extinct data plans.
In 2025, there's no excuse to roam with a Jurassic phone. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel, echosound.ca.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, serious protection, killer looks. 1865 McCarra Street. And Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. CroftElectric.com, and you can find them on all socials.
Dry, warm weather expected to carry through the weekend as high pressure remains the dominant weather feature. Right now, another big ridge is starting to build into the Pacific Northwest in the States, and that ridge will slip to our south through the weekend. Minor weather makers are expected to come into play, generating a bit of cloud mainly tomorrow night, but conditions will remain bone dry. Our next opportunity for precipitation won't arrive until Tuesday night or Wednesday at the very earliest. Our forecast details: clear skies tonight, cool, low near 5 degrees. West to southwest winds will be diminishing to 10 to 20 over the overnight hours. A chance of rainfall 0 right through the weekend. Sunny skies tomorrow, Saturday, a high of 25. Southwest winds at 15 to 25 will become gusty in the afternoon. Chance of rainfall 0. Saturday night, partly cloudy, lows near 9. Mostly sunny, 26 on Sunday. Mostly sunny and breezy again, 26 on Monday. And mostly sunny, 28 on Tuesday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murley.
Croft Electric. You've probably heard of us because we've been around for over 27 years. We do commercial and residential work? Yes. We do permanent holiday lighting? Yes. We do cabins? Yes. And farms? Yes and yes. We're an authorized Generac generator dealer. We are a full-service electrical company with the experience and the people to service all of your electrical needs. We are Croft Electric. We will be here when you need us. Do it right, do it once. Follow us on all social and call 306-586-1333 to book.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. Last hour of the week for Nelson Holmes, like the big voice said. It's a Sports Cage. Thanks for making time. Whether you're harvesting, getting that crop off, listening to the streams, maybe it's on 620 CKRM or, of course, through our YouTube channel and sportscage.com. It's been a great show. Wes Cates in hour one tells an all-time story on the CFL and the rules. And when he first got here, he wasn't quite sure. Mark McConkey from the UofR Rams is in hour one as we get set to watch the Rams in Manitoba tomorrow. In hour two, Farhan Lalji, really good interview with Farhan. We finally find out what he's thinking, what's going on as he was traveling on a bumpy highway somewhere in the lower mainland. And then Maddox Schultz also in hour two as the Pats get set for their home opener against the Prince Albert Raiders. I think Bleecker, Dante said in hour one, starts at 5:45, and they're going to unveil their new song that they wrote for the Regina Pats. And they're going to perform it, and allegedly it's going to be the Pats' entrance tune going forward. So we'll see. With tomorrow being a Rough Rider game day, we start things here at 2 o'clock on the Rider Broadcast Network. Also, don't forget, all participating KFCs in the province. Here it is. What is it, 5 o'clock? Everyone's probably feeling hungry right now. The End Zone Big Crunch, $4.95 on Rider game days, and the Big Crunch Combo, $7.95 at all participating KFCs in Saskatchewan tomorrow on Rider game day. So Greg's been with me from the Piffles podcast all afternoon, and now another co-host, another guest in the studio, two actually. Rob Vanstone is here along with his dog, Candy. I mean, we'll get Candy on the screen at some point when she pops her head up. A friendly dog.
She's a beautiful girl. She's laying on the floor right now. We
you ever take her to Rider games?
I've taken her to the office. It's a very dog-friendly office. We watched some high school football together a couple of weeks ago in the alumni lounge. I forgot something at my desk, so I had to go back to the office. I thought, I'll take Candy for a car ride. Oh, she heard that. And so I went to my desk, passed through the alumni lounge, saw the high school football game. We just sat down in a nice chair and watched some football. And I asked Candy what she thought of football, and she said, rough. I'm so sorry.
That's the Rob Vanstone we love right there.
Maybe start talking. I'm like, I know exactly why he's teeing up, but I'm in for the ride. Let's go.
I'm so sorry. Hey, I hope you have a guest coming up. Can you just replay the Maddox Schultz interview when I'm supposed to speak, or Farhan?
A trap door.
Or a commercial?
Tomorrow, Edmonton, desperate team. Let's start with this, and it is Coach Mace and his audio. He talks about if they're expecting a desperate team from the Edmonton Elks.
I don't want to say desperation, but obviously, they got a ton to play for, and just knowing, I don't know very many players over there, but obviously very familiar with Killam and JC and those guys. Those boys are going to be ready to play. So, our guys know that.
Around the horn here, we'll start with you, Rob. Edmonton's got to be desperate tomorrow. They're kind of playing for their season.
Yeah, and Edmonton, I mean, their record is somewhat deceiving when you look at, I think, the four of the 5 games that they've lost since Cody took over starting quarterback by combined 11 points. And they've had a lot of tough luck overall. They're a tough out. I look at the last 3 visits to Edmonton. And the season opener in 2023, it was 17-13 for Saskatchewan. The season opener the next year, 29-21. And then 28-24 last October 5th. So, and those weren't particularly strong Edmonton teams, yet they've been tough to beat there. And they've been tough to beat in general this year. And so I expect to be biting more of whatever remains of my fingernails. And then Candy will bite her claws, and we'll have a lovely afternoon together.
Edmonton, where are you?
I've stated on the podcast that if they would have started Cody Fajardo game 1, they would have been in a playoff spot right now. They play better with Cody, and Cody keeps them in games.
At home, I don't know if that's going to be, but also, Rob, too, Larry Thompson, and maybe some motivation there. Unfortunate news for the CFL.
Yeah, I mean, such a great owner, and we barely got to know him.
Yeah.
And the Elks fans really barely got to know him. But this is somebody who's had such a passion for it for such a long time. And, there was a process of selling that team to a private owner, and they found this terrific owner, and it's just devastating news. The entire CFL community, it's been tough lately. Ted Gouveia, not long before that.
Yeah.
We lost Craig Smith not too long ago. There's been some real tough ones to take, and this is another one that just breaks your heart.
As a guy that's as hardcore as it gets with the CFL, you finally get this private owner in Edmonton, and how exciting, and he's just so passionate and season ticket holder his whole life, and then unfortunately we lose him.
He was a giant fan. Like, in a different world, he's me with money. Like, he was a fan that went to every game. He bought season tickets. He took his kids. Like, he was a fan first, then he became an owner. So yeah, it's hard for that franchise to finally find the guy to be their first full-time owner, private owner, and lose him right away.
Okay, kind of the same kind of question here for Coach Mays, because we talk about the desperate team. It's do they have to guard against complacency against a team that is playing for their lives?
Yeah, we're fighting for ours. We got a lot of stuff to play for, and certainly the taste that was left for us this last week and a half. We don't like that. So we got a ton of stuff to play for, and even just intrinsically for what we want to look like. So I think both teams are coming in with the same mindset. JC
Sherritt, and we played him already, but the familiarity, I have a tough time saying that word, I'll be the first one to admit it. Does that pose a problem? Does he maybe know a little bit more than the average coach, or because the league's so small, there's so much game tape out there now that it's not that big of a deal?
And they've already played against Edmonton this year, and familiarity can go both ways, because the Roughriders also have the book on what tendencies he may have. True. Albeit he wasn't the defensive coordinator here, but this is such a incumbent-laden coaching staff. I think they'd have a pretty good handle on his philosophies. Plus, there's now more than roughly two-thirds of a season worth of film. So there's really maybe week 1 or week 2 if they're pulling something out of their back pocket. But by now, I think you have a pretty good handle on what it is they like to do and when they might do it.
Oh, 100%. Like, with the way film is, how small the league is, the way the coaches rotate through teams, everyone's seen each other, everyone knows each other, everyone knows who does what. So it's just a matter of who's better that day.
It's actually one of the things I've always loved about the CFL. It kind of reminds me of like a small high school conference, or PFC or whatever.
Oh yeah,
where you don't really have Edmonton Huskies.
Jordy's been around forever. Sarge has been around forever. Scotty's been.
Sarge Jones. It's. I think and like we talked, they've played each other already this year. Offensively, Coach Mace, are they anticipating a more in sync Elks offense?
Yeah, no, I think we see it on tape. They're just more confident, and I think just reps. With Cody being in there, I think his first go around was against us. So just like anything, right? They've had more time and more timing, and just flow of the game for them. So certainly we expect a much better team, than we played the first time, and we feel that we're better as well. So we're expecting a tough battle. I'm hearing there's going to be a decent crowd out there too. So man, it's going to be a good game.
Who told Coach Mace that there's going to be a decent crowd? Did I miss something? Matt Young usually has his little chart on how many tickets. Have you heard anything? Is there expecting a big crowd?
I've not been following it that carefully in terms of their attendance. I tend to pay more attention to Mosaic Stadium gatherings.
Maybe anybody that was at one of the Morgan Wallen concerts got a free ticket.
There you go.
And they're expecting it to be packed. But no, from the great Rankin family, Justin Rankin, how much do we got to be worried about him?
What a back. And explosive, if you're handing him the ball, explosive if you're throwing it to him. His average per catch, if you look at those numbers, you'd think, okay, he's probably a wideout or a slot back. Just a tremendous weapon. He was held pretty much in check when the Elks were here. Cody, I think, was the Elks' leading rusher. I think the Elks' offense has evolved a lot since then. Justin Rankin has just consistently been a weapon. And there's just so many ways ways to use him. And it reminds me a bit of the Kenton Keith years.
I was just going to say
he might take the handoff 70 yards or he might take the swing pass 70 yards. He's got that type of capability where in a flash he can change a game.
Corey Holmes comes to mind a little bit, but Keith was probably the one. What do you see on the Elks offense?
As good as Rankin has been, Cody's also found a connection with Kai and Julia Grant that is becoming his deeper threat guy, his relief valve when teams have been teeing off on Rankin. So I think he's a guy you got to watch for tomorrow for sure.
What's it? Do you have the forecast for Edmonton, Coulson? I know I'm throwing a lot at you here, but allegedly,
there's a 98% chance of weather.
Candy, do you have the weather?
Yeah,
down there.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, these jokes are just fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, no, it's the curious on. Oh, here we go. Coulson switching headsets.
Here's Coulson with the weather.
Tomorrow, Saturday, high of 17, mix of sun and cloud. 30% chance of precipitation.
Humidex?
Wind.
Humidex, I'm not seeing. Wind. Let's see if I can find that. There's too many different weather sites, and they're all questionable.
Edmonton wind. What is the wind in? Can we ask Chat GPT? Here I go. I'm going to pull it up. Tomorrow, we are looking at game time, 5 o'clock. Oh, give me pop-up ads. Seriously? Come on. Come on. Yeah, 11 gusting to 17. Nothing for wind.
What a perfect day for football.
Perfect day for football. It's just too bad they still don't have the real turf at Commonwealth.
I will always have a real soft spot for all of Commonwealth Stadium. The first game I ever saw there was Ron Lancaster's last game, October 29th, 1978. And it's still my favorite sporting event ever to be at, ever. It was perfect. That whole story of Ronnie's last game was perfect. And I'm so glad I was there at that one. I don't like being old. I was 14 then, but if I wasn't this age, I wouldn't have been at that game.
Oh. I've never been to a football game at Commonwealth.
I've never been to Commonwealth either.
It's great. I love it. Me and August 23rd, 85, the Riders beat Edmonton 42-34. Me and my best friend Mark Anderson sat in the upper deck. And Joe Paupau had gotten hurt right before that. And Homer Jordan started the game. And people thought, well, that's going to be a walk for Edmonton. The Riders won 42-34. Craig Ellis scored 3 touchdowns. I had to go get some concessions, me being me. So I go to the concession. And I come back and I see the Riders have 7 more points. I go, Mark, what happened? And because there wasn't a lot of crowd cheering, to kind of tip me off that maybe the Riders scored. And they said, oh yeah, Denny Ferdinand just ran for a 50-yard touchdown. I missed it while I was getting popcorn. But that was such a fun night.
1974?
1985.
1985.
August 23rd, 85.
Yeah.
I was 4.
I was.
I would have taken you for a Twizzler guy.
That was a big day. It was my first trip to the West Edmonton Mall, and then I went to.
I remember my first trip to West Edmonton Mall.
You can skate here. Wow, if only I could skate.
And then I think it was the second or third trip to West Edmonton Mall when they put in the roller coaster.
And they had the malt stop. You ever go to the malt stop at the West Edmonton Mall?
No.
Oh, it was the best. It was the best. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
This segment is brought to you by the malt stop.
Yeah, and Weather on the Ones with Coulson. Okay, let's go a quick break here, and then when we come back, let's get. I'm really curious to get your comments on the rule changes and the CFL. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Candy, is that okay? Stick around. All right. It's the Sports Cage. Greg from Piffles Podcast, Rob Vanstone, Candy Vanstone, and Coulson. We're streaming through sportscage.com on our YouTube channel and on the home of the green and white 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
So, since that little ding on my car last week,
I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
Time is running out. The final deadline in the Rough Rider and Children's Hospital Foundation's lottery is midnight tonight. Don't miss your chance to win big. There's over 1,000 prizes, including your best chance to win $1 million. Imagine driving away in a luxury vehicle, jetting off on a dream vacation, or scoring fantastic rider prizes. But hurry, the final deadline is midnight tonight. Help Saskatchewan kids and get your tickets now at riderschildrenslottery.ca. Lottery license LR250022. Please play responsibly.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me at meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Hear that? What a tackle.
That big crunch wasn't from the tackle, Chris. That's the KFC $4.95 End Zone Big Crunch and $7.95 End Zone Big Crunch combos only on game days.
The End Zone Special available on Rough Rider game days at participating KFC Sask locations.
Sportscage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com, on our YouTube channel, and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports. 620 CKRM.
A jam-packed Sportscage studio right now. We're getting set for the Riders tomorrow in Edmonton. Regina Pats tonight, 7 p.m. home opener against the Prince Albert Raiders. Rob, you said you're going to that one?
Absolutely, season ticket holder. So
that's right.
One of the first things I did when I changed allegiances from the LP to the Rough Riders, I bought a Pats season ticket. And if there's an empty seat beside me. If anybody wants to see me, I'm row 3 behind the net, closest to the main entrance. So if anybody wants to buy me popcorn, I'll accept it.
And talk about the malt shop.
Absolutely. If there's malts, I may. Might be a late night.
You just told us that we're in the building downtown Regina here, 12th and Rose. And I know this is the old Bay building. I wasn't living in Regina when this was the Bay building, but you said the Rider ticket office used to be in the
Rider ticket office was down Rose Street, about maybe 4 first downs from here. And the malt stop at the Bay was in the basement of this building. Great hot dogs. Toys was down there. They had a restaurant down there. Sporting goods was downstairs. Home furnishings.
Look at this trip down memory lane.
There was clothing. Clothing was most of the main floor, and as you can tell, I wasn't too preoccupied with anything sartorially tasteful. So
I can smell a department store when you talk about the men's whatever, the shoes, just lost art. Now everything comes in a box to your door. I feel it's just
so easy.
Yeah, everything is.
I ordered a book the other day and I got here like 2 days. And it's like, wow, But I love bookstores.
Yeah, that's a good smell too. Mm-hmm. What was it? Kohl's? Was that a bookstore?
That was a bookstore, yeah.
Big book learning guy over here.
Big book guy, big word guy.
Nelson Holmes brings us the Friday edition of the Sportscage. Mr. Vanstone, let's go. The rules and the changes on Monday. Same question I asked, I think, Farhan, or maybe it was Wes. What did you think it was going to be, and then was it on par what they came out with?
Well, my anxiety takes over, and so when I saw the advisory on Sunday at 11 a.m. that significant changes, I thought, well, they're probably just outlawing historians and writers across the Canadian Football League. So I started worrying, and fortunately for me, unfortunately for others, that wasn't it. But, you start thinking, okay, what constitutes a significant change? 4 downs, small field, expansion to the States, expansion to whatever. Like what, how do you define significant? That can be anything, right? So when I saw it, it just, I kept nodding. And I kind of surprised myself because I'm this stodgy old traditionalist that used to buy rider tickets when they were actually cardboard, 43 yards from here. And so, but none of it struck me as, they can't do that. This, and I'm a real traditionalist.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of surprised by my response. Maybe I'm more open-minded than I thought I was.
Do you think the staff at TSN, when we talked to Farhan and I kind of joked about it, do you think that they're taking like the brunt of this and just, Eastern Canada, they're trying to change the game, trying to make it more American, and of course everyone from TSN's agreeing?
Yeah, and I've heard that said. I don't subscribe to it for a moment. Farhan spoke to it so well when he was on the air, and in his social media commentary on that, which was so good. Just that staff there is, you're not going to tell them what to say. They're going to say what they think, and there's also Luke Wilson. If there is this edict at TSN that you've got to toe some supposed company line, explain Luke Wilson to me. Mm-hmm. And so I don't buy that for a second. I just think those are intelligent, seasoned, connected football people offering their opinion, as am I.
So now that you said you were nodding, what was the one that you're going, well, why didn't we do this years ago? This makes the most sense.
Timing. I love the timing. Yeah. And I didn't really understand it as well as I thought I did, or as much as I should have, until I started digging into it. And it's easy to say, and I've heard it said in the past, well, the NFL has a 40-second clock, the CFL has a 20-second clock, so the CFL games moves much faster, but there's 2 clocks at work. It's the game clock and the 20-second clock, and oftentimes more than 20 seconds can elapse before the 20 seconds kicks in. And so I crunched some numbers. I just picked a play at random. I didn't want to pick a play where a team's in a hurry or a team is trying to run out the clock. So I picked a play at random from the second quarter. And there was a minute to the second between one play and the next being whistled in, and there was 53 seconds between snaps. So yeah, they can really punch this up. And I started thinking, is one of the issues with, or perceived issues with scoring or not enough touchdowns or whatever, the people are saying needs to be bumped up, could it relate to the timing? So I did some number crunching last night, and this surprised me. It really did. I compared the number of plays in the Roughriders' first 13 games of 1991, when scoring was at its apex, to the Roughriders' first 13 games of this season. So it's 34 years difference, but scoring, it was like a basketball type scoreboard back then.
Flag football.
Exactly. And in 91, there was an average of 166.6 games, so 166.6 plays per game over the first 13. This year, 143.8, a difference of 22.8 plays per game. And then I started thinking, okay, does the way the game is timed now, with time elapsing, then the 20-second clock being blown in, could that account for that? Will this new measure tighten that up? And I think it will. And with more plays, it stands to reason there'll be more points, more touchdowns, more spectacular opportunities. Because you're talking 22 plays, in a football game, granted over a duration of 34 years, that's like half a quarter, basically.
Oh.
I was really surprised. I didn't realize there was such a difference in the amount of plays over time. Now, again, 34 years, but I think that as I started thinking about the timing issue, that's kind of spawned that question, which led me to pull out my abacus and do some math, and that's what the number ended up being. And I thought maybe 5 or 10 play difference over time, but 22.6 on average.
So I thought for sure you were going to say, like everybody, is the benches, which seems common sense.
That seems to me to be a layup. The other one I found, which is interesting, there's been talk about the back of the end zone being pared down, and will that affect the amount of scoring because there's 5 fewer yards to play with? And I think you could. And my presumption was yes. So in 1986, the league went from 25-yard end zones to 20. And so I thought I'm going to crunch some more numbers. And I figured out the points per game one season to the next. 85, but the last season, the 25-yard end zone compared to 86. Scoring went up by nearly 2 points a game the first year that the end zones were reduced by 5 yards. And if I compared the 4 years before and the 4 years after, scoring was still up by, I think, 1.5 points a game. 4 years leading up, 4 years after. So if the smaller end zones theoretically discourage scoring, the numbers don't speak to that, not only in the short term, but over a greater breadth of time. That one really surprised me. I thought maybe ideally it's a stalemate, but the numbers went up. Now, I didn't break it down into touchdowns and field goals, but it stands to reason the numbers go up by more than just a fraction, that an increase in touchdowns would be part of that equation.
I'm just picturing Rob with a chalkboard just across an entire wall, just doing numbers last night.
Yeah, and that's why we need new wallpaper.
Yeah, that it is. It's like one of those math genius guys.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I thought for sure that scoring will go down if there's less space in the end zone, but it didn't. And now the reduction in space in the end zone is counteracted, to which degree we don't know, with the goalposts being moved. And so the middle of the field is going to be open. And granted, there are teams that I think are generally inclined to go outside the hash marks. Sometimes passing over the middle is tougher, but you look at Trevor and how he can thread the needle and find the slightest window regardless of where it is. And I just tried to think of Trevor with a new part of the field to explore. I think he's got to be salivating over that.
But let's be honest, he's playing in 2 years.
Well, if you look at the way he's playing, why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
If Trevor decides to stop playing, it won't be because I think of a decline in performance. It'll be because of Kaylee and 4 kids and a career goals and family goals.
So the one text that we've had on the Prairie Land Rentals text line a few times today, let alone throughout the week, because throughout the week I've never seen anything like it. How many messages?
Yeah, sorry about that. I messaged you, said, can I bring candy? I think I overloaded your phone with that, actually. Please let me bring my dog.
Is people are a couple people today were saying, that's going to lead to more punts. The length of the field.
What's the gain in punting when you're at let's say you're thinking, okay, do I try a 52-yard field goal or do I punt, or a 55-yard field goal, do I punt? Well, if you punt and it doesn't go out of bounds at the 2, the net gain is almost like throwing a 20-yard interception.
Yeah.
So it's a virtual turnover if you punt and you aren't as precise as you'd like to be directionally with it. So I think the incentive would be more to gamble. Or I think in a way there might be more of an incentive to try the longer field goal because there's less of a fear of missing from a considerable length and then having it returned for a touchdown. As long as you hit the end line with the field goal, as long as you got the distance, you're not going to get burned by Javon Leake, Mario Alford, etc. So will teams be more inclined to try the really long field goals because there's less of a downside to it if you miss?
I am.
There's so many places this could go. I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah, and I'm really curious on the long field goal attempts, like the one in the NCAA that we talked about earlier in the week, where it comes up short and you can still go, which is not going to be the norm, but that's still going to happen as well. And then our team's going to start looking at, we got to have a taller guy back there, a guy that's 5'8", 5'9", or a guy that's 6'2". Does that come in? There's going to be so many different strategies to games. There's going to be loopholes to find with the clock, with, different things.
The San Francisco 49ers used to have a player named R.C. Owens who could leap his vertical was 69.
He was like Jimmy from Seinfeld.
They used to put R.C. Owens in front of the goalposts, and especially back in the day when the backup left guard was your place kicker, and he might be able to get it there from 25. So they would, and there wasn't much arc on those kicks, and R.C. Owens would stand underneath the the uprights and try to swat the field goal attempts out of the air. I think there was an R.C. Owens rule that said you can't do that, but it was so far ahead of its time.
It's like goaltending.
It's like the short baseball. You see it on social media once in a while. That one team that tried to put in the guy that was like 5'2" to pitch to baseball.
Yeah, Eddie Goodell and Bill Veck.
Bill Veck. Yeah, I was going to say I know that story. I couldn't remember the name of the player. Yeah.
Well, did you see it was a Little League clip not too long ago where I'm not sure if it was a Little League World Series or just a Little League game.
Yeah.
Some kid comes in and basically crouches
all the way down.
And
strike.
The strike zone's a postage stamp. That's an archaic reference. See, they used to do this thing called letters, and
they're on strike now,
and
or locked out or whatever.
And the umpire just called him out anyway, right?
Yeah, he called it a strike because he's like the zone.
But look at the Pete Rose batting stance way back when. I mean, he was a squat guy, and he had this. I think his strike zone was virtually non-existent. You could manipulate it a bit if you wanted.
Okay, we got a text in here from someone that let us know.
Money too? I'll e-transfer you.
Wynyard's going to 3-0 in
Bears.
football. 46-8 over Ituna.
Can I interject about high school football? I heard your comment about the bounce pass. The Riders did that. Labor Day, 95 against Winnipeg, 56-4. And Warren Jones threw a bouncer to Don Narcisse, who had a 45-yard touchdown pass to Dan Farthing.
Narcisse threw it, and
Dan Farthing caught it. So, 56-4 Riders.
Bounce pass, people.
Still a gadget play.
That's where it's at.
I haven't seen it since, at least at that level, but Aiden Bowman, was it?
No, Bedford.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, no.
I know your allegiances are pretty tight.
I didn't have those kind of funds to live over by Aiden Bowman. Okay, so text message here. Beware timing changes clock use to stop for chains to reset. No longer the case. I'm not following there. You know, the other thing, though, like the NFL, the chain gang thing, that seems to be a thing of the past.
I think with technology, I'm surprised it hasn't already. Don't get me wrong. You get that moment where they're up there and they're pulling the chain, but...
Well, the NFL's not even doing it anymore.
I know, but that's what I mean, though. Like, everyone's like, oh, you're missing something. But when you've got tennis matches that are using lasers to find out where the ball lands, and you got golf trackers, and you got the fact that we still are going, guys running across a field going, is the guy in the pile or not?
Yeah.
Before he puts his arms up,
I'm wondering when the spot starts to become computerized, where if you got a chip in the ball or something, can you say, well, the ball reached this far? Because the spot is still arbitrary, right? So
they do have a chip in the ball. Like, the fact that they can't dial that in.
Well, and the NFL's got it pretty dialed right now, from what I've seen it working. And I think it's only a matter. I drove last weekend in an Uber that no one was driving.
Yep.
Like this isn't that far off to where it's like, hey, take a seat, chain gang. We're going with, but then the chip in the ball thing brings up the whole other, kickers, and it's not the same. And maybe what about amateur football? What do you? And this is tough to answer. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna sit down with the CFL, come up with a plan, go to the same rules, or is it going to be like, you want us to rent the stadium and be in the stadium? We need you to put the field back to where it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's different agreements with different fields too. I would think the CFL is going to be very collaborative on this, and I hope this leads to discussions that even tighten the partnership between.
I think it will.
The CFL and amateur football. There's always I think we're seeing steps in that direction. I mean, last year the Riders gave $1.8 million. The Rider Foundation gave $1.8 million to amateur football.
How many helmets did they?
1,000 helmets all over the province. So. I hope this is a way of generating discussions that may have benefits beyond that. I mean, when the CFL went to a longer convert, amateur football didn't follow suit. When the hash marks changed, amateur football didn't follow suit. Obviously the big one is the goalpost going to the back of the end zone. The rules still apply for both teams, even if that game is a one-off. The 100-yard field won't alter the style of the game. The play will still look like the play regardless. You'll still X's and O it the same way, unless they're on the 2-yard line or something. If they decrease the width of the field, huge ramifications. But the length of the field, that's more cosmetic than I think anything that's going to affect the structure and rollout of the football game.
Yeah.
Greg may disagree. Feel free to do so.
No, I I made my feelings fairly obvious on Piffles this week. I'm worried about the ramifications because not everyone has CFL money. So you're gonna, if they are going to switch, if they all are going to follow suit. But you made a good point that they haven't in some cases. But then you've got all these communities that have these fields set up that are going to have to move them around.
And you look at some of these communities, you've got, you look at a high school field, even you got the goalpost planted.
Yeah.
They're not the most portable things in the world. So, but
you look at the town of Raymore where they apparently random goalposts in the middle of the street in town.
But I don't see that being necessarily an issue when you consider the amount of football that is played and compare that to the amount of football that's played in CFL stadiums. It's still a fraction of the games being played, and if for 1 or 2 games a year your field goal attempt is 15 yards longer, maybe that helps you with the development of your kickers.
The biggest thing I've heard in this city though is we spent X amount of dollars on that stadium right there. It's supposed to be a community stadium, and basically everyone is resigning themselves with, well, the Riders are going to get their way, and anyone who else plays in that stadium is out of it. Which I don't think is going to happen. I think the Riders are smart enough to understand that there's going to have to be some give and take here, but that's the feeling right now.
But like when we talked to Farhan, and you look at what the SoFi Stadium, which I'm no turf expert, but it's just could be just a sleeve where it's like, here, this is the CFL sleeve, and then you go back to the other one, put the goalpost back. Small towns where the goalposts are in, but I don't know, GB Construction maybe goes and pulls up goalposts and move them if need be. Again, people living in space, cars that drive themselves, where it might not be that big of a deal. But can we take a break and then come back on this?
Can we take
a break? Yeah, we're all good. It's a Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. Keep the messages coming, 936-6262 in the Prairieland Rentals text line. We are on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Have you ever tried convincing a 1,000-pound animal to walk half a mile for a drink? Yeah, good luck with that. Cows aren't moving, and frankly, they don't care about your schedule. So instead of turning your pasture into a full-blown cattle negotiation summit, install a Keln Solar Livestock Watering System. You can drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows chill. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
The care your family receives in hospitals, schools, and community programs comes from SEIU West members who live in your community. We're united around something simple. When working people have what they need to do their jobs well, everyone benefits. Our conditions of work are your conditions of care. For more information, visit seiuwest.ca.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Edmonton tomorrow of note. In the lineup, we have a new punter. Jesse Mirko is going to be kicking the ball for the Riders. Sean Bain Jr. is in the lineup, as is Marcus Sales. Benny Sapp III is going to play the other cornerback position. 2 o'clock, we start here on CKRM. 5 o'clock is kickoff. Zach Hilaris is going to be back throwing footballs for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, it seems. They announced him the starter. High school basketball. What? High school football tonight. Under the lights in Lumsden. In the Valley, Devils hosting Moose Jaw Vanier. Both are undefeated. As for the high school leap, it's underway. Miller O'Neill at Libel. Johnson and Tom have it rented at 7:30. Riffle and Knoll, the Battle of Rochdale, that's underway at Mosaic Stadium. And Laboldus and Campbell will go the late one there. Jays starting a big series with the Rays. 3-gamer and season-ending series. Is there an update in that one? I haven't looked. Close to maybe pull that up. Local hockey, Raiders, Pats, home opener for the Pats. Under the orange top, 7 p.m. Puck drop, lots of festivities going on before the game. Medicine Hats and Swift Blades are in Lethbridge, little SJHL. Weyburn's welcoming Estevan, Melville. Plays host to Humboldt, Flin Flon, Travis, Nipawin, Larange is at Melfort, and Warman is in Kindersley. In hour 3, it's for Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. They're now into their new 40,000 square foot facility, Regina Steelcraft Doors. Are you guys big Jays fans?
Go Mets.
Mets?
Yes. It's been
they still in the league?
Wonderful couple of months for the Mets.
I'm hoping the Jays can do things. I'm more of a Red Sox guy myself.
I'm a Jays guy. Joe Carter changed my life back when I was a young guy.
Did you meet him?
No, just a home run.
And the Riders won that day. Beat Calgary that day, 48-45. So,
yeah, I liked Kelly Gruber.
Yep.
I liked Roberto Alomar. Had to like Roberto Alomar.
John Allrood.
Johnny weird with the helmet. I don't know. It was
nice guy. They played here in 88 and 93, and John Allrood was such a gentleman when he was there.
He seems like he'd be a nice guy. Lloyd Mosby. Yeah. George Bell, too. He's a kung fu guy. You'd always charge him out. Those are the pictures of when the Jays were playing at Old Taylor Field.
Yeah. Louis Soho hit 3 home runs for the Jays there. I think left field was 260 or something.
Was it?
They had a home run hitting contest before the game, and Grant Devine, the premier of Saskatchewan, hit a home run.
That just made my day. That in the West. I'm just picturing Grant Devine in the box taking one deep.
Taking hacks.
He was a pretty good ball player in his day. He was a real athletic guy. So.
Oh, Colson, we got to clip that. And then when Rob Vanstone let us know Grant Devine hit a dinger at Taylor Field. Who did the Jays play?
The National Baseball Institute Blues out of, I think, Lethbridge. And so they played them in 88. And Jimmy Williams, his last win as the Blue Jays manager was at Taylor Field. I think he got fired not long after that. So great baseball trivia. And the Winnipeg Jets will always be undefeated at Mosaic Stadium.
Did they lose?
No, the Jays won. But and then they went on the road somewhere, or they went somewhere and didn't win again, and that was the end of Jimmy Williams' tenure as the Jays manager.
I know.
And Cito Gaston in 93 was a
John
great guy.
Allrood wore the helmet because he had a brain. I know there was a brain thing there. I know he just didn't wear it for fun, so it wasn't making fun. Allrood, he was first baseman.
Yep.
First basemen are hard to get excited about.
He was a great pitcher too.
Was he?
He was He was an all around. He was kind of Shohei coming up as a player. He could do everything.
Who was the shortstop in the World Series days? Fernandez?
Fernandez. It was Tony Fernandez.
Yeah.
He was a shortstop? Yeah, Alomar was second.
Alomar was second.
Hot corner was Gruber.
Yeah.
Sweet
Gruber in
hair.
92, Ed Sprague in 93.
Sprague. They're looking it up. Do you know it? 936-6262. Blue Jays shortstop.
Is it Manny Lee? No.
What?
Fernandez was on the 93 team, but he wasn't, I think, Tony Fernandez.
I can't believe I'm getting Rob Vanstone to go look at his phone to answer something.
Manuel Lee was 92.
Yeah, and Tony Fernandez was with the Blue Jays in 93, but he wasn't the Tony Fernandez.
I don't remember Lee at all.
This roster: Pat Borders, John Allrood, Roberto Alomar, Kelly Gruber, Manuel Lee, Candy Maldonado, Devon
Candy,
White,
beautiful.
Joe Carter, Dave Winfield as the DH.
And I remember when they brought Winfield in, and I was younger, didn't really pay attention. It was just such a big deal. Pat Borders, man, that guy always had a chaw. And bat catcher, wasn't he?
Paul Molitor was with the Jays 92, 93. What a
Pickup.
superb guy to talk to.
Yeah,
really?
I asked him 2 questions, and I think the answers were 5 minutes. It was just, he was Absolutely tremendous.
Could we get him on the shows?
Cito Gaston was just awesomely nice. He started telling us about their plane.
Was he a good guy?
He was a great guy. We just stood there and basically shot the breeze with Cito Gaston before we interviewed him. He just asked us about Regina, told us we should see the plane, didn't invite us on board, but that's his good taste.
Were they going to take Grant on it? sign him to a minor league deal? This is great stuff. Okay, so this story, and I don't even know how much you know about it, Dave Thomas had a chance to sit down with Ali Saad, and he just told me, I haven't heard it yet either. He said it's a great story. It's a great one-on-one. Greg, thanks for being here.
Anytime.
Rob, thanks for coming in. Candy?
Thanks on behalf of Candy.
Want to go for a car ride? It's Rob's dog if you're just tuning in.
And she's going to get a Victoria Park walk.
She can come in anytime. Colson, thanks so much. Good job this week. So we're going to run the Ali Saad right now, and then Regina Pats Hockey's taking over in a little bit. It is a Sports Cage. Thank you very much for tuning in. Here's Dave and Ali Saad.
Rookie defensive lineman Ali Saad as we head into the home stretch of the Canadian Football League season. First and foremost, give me your opinions so far and what you've seen and learned thus far.
So far I learned a lot, of course, especially these older guys helping me out. Coaches meeting with me after and stuff, Mace taking care of me. So far I've seen a bunch of talent. It's been great being here, learning the new rules. I got more used to them and stuff right now. It's just been great, especially winning and stuff, people knowing you around town and stuff. It feels great.
Now, you talked about learning and some adjustments you've had to make. Let's start with those adjustments. The easy one to point out for the outside looking in is the fact that you've gone ahead and you had to adjust to that 1 yard off the ball. Yeah. How big of an adjustment?
It was really tough, especially coming in at first, but I got the hang of it after taking more reps, especially Coach Field throwing me in right away when I first got here and stuff. So it got much easier for sure. Now playing some O-line a little bit, so trying to adjust to that as well, short yardage and stuff, which feels great.
We're going to get to that O-line stint in just a minute,
yeah.
But with a yard off the ball, is it a footwork, handwork, a mental issue? How do you adjust?
It was mainly the footwork. Taking that extra step was mainly my main issue, especially coming in from a guy that played more DN in college to now playing D-tackle, 3-tech, 2-eye, nose as well as 0. It was just mainly the footwork that I really struggled with in the beginning, but after that, getting used to it, feels great now.
What is the adjustment going from defensive end to defensive tackle? On the offensive line, you hear the linemen talk about the nuances that they have to perfect when they're making that adjustment. How about for you?
For me, it was just basically like learning how to be in a tighter space than playing like DN. You got that much space outside and stuff. You can do whatever you really want. Where now at 3-tech and 2-eye and 0, you expected to get a bunch of double teams and stuff and expected to play in a smaller gap, which you got to perfect your hand strike, your footwork, and everything.
Let's talk about you on the offensive line on the short yardage team. How much fun is that, and have you ever played offensive line before?
Never. It's really, really fun. I'm coming down, hitting people for sure. Hit a bunch of people really hard lately. Feels great. I guess these guys trust me and stuff, which is the best part. So, yeah.
They trust you to pull. That's not usual for a defensive lineman, but you're smiling already.
Yeah, they trust me to pull. They trust me being on the line and stuff. They see I can hit. I'm physical. They watch me on KOR. They say I could go hit some people and stuff. I feel like this has really, it really showed them, and I really, showed them what I can do and how physical I can be on the line on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And, yeah, it's just a blessing for them to actually give me that trust and opportunity to be out there.
As a younger player, did that show you as well that, hey, I belong, I can play physical in this league?
Oh, yeah, it really showed me that I can play both ways. It really showed me that I belong here and stuff. It really helped me to, actually perform better and actually see what my opportunity and my goals are to progress as time goes on and stuff.
Now, Ali, the one thing that maybe makes you smile bigger, in my opinion, in conversations that we've had, not just talking about hits and what you do on the field, but when you talk about your family. I know you had a chance to go home, see the family over the bye week. What does family mean to you? And tell me about your family dynamic.
It means everything to me. Again, seeing my mom and dad. My dad was a hard-working person. He hasn't been himself lately and stuff, so going back home, getting to sit with them and spend time with them was really good, especially my mom as well. Missed her a lot being away from home. So, yeah, and then I got my 2 younger brother and an older brother. I missed a young one who's 10 years old. He's just started middle school, didn't get the opportunity to see his first day and stuff, which was tough. But, man, I'm a big role model to him, so going to see him, playing around with him, taking him out and stuff was great for me.
And of course, your other brother, right? He's going through it as well too, and you've got a big role in what he's doing.
Yes, sir. And I got as well as that, my older brother who's in medical school currently right now. He looks up to me as well, but he was the main guy that I looked up to, and I just wanted to follow his footsteps to success and stuff. So whatever I needed, he was always there for me and stuff. So, yeah.
It's a very cool family. It's a very cool story, and so far so good this season. Thanks for doing this.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Sask Power is working to improve the power system in your area. In order to do their work safely, they need to shut the power off for customers in most of Ogama from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday, September 28th, weather permitting. Again, the power will be out for 8 hours on Sunday, September 28th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for customers in most of Ogama. For updates on this outage, visit saskpower.com/outages. Sask Power apologizes for the inconvenience and thanks you for your patience.